Okay. Holly had 3 touchdowns. Love had 2 last week.
Snider, athletic director, please meet the Goshen athletic director by the scoreboard.
I won $55 last night.
Did you?
It was a little one.
I'm liking your Washington, though. I tell you, that's
Drop the 5 But,
yeah, but if they just keep winning, they'll be.
Now I need your Buckeyes to beat Michigan.
I know. They've been sleepwalking lately.
Snider on the road tonight in the 5A Sectional 10 Championship matchup against the Goshen Redhawks. Hi, everybody. Glad you could join us tonight. We are at Foreman Field with Joe Walburn. I'm Joe Parson. This is a rematch from almost 1 year ago when the teams met in the sectional first round meeting, and the Panthers winning in Fort Wayne a year ago, 42-10. But the Redhawks now are 8-2 this time around. They're ranked in both 5A polls. Goshen has now won 4 straight ball games, including a 49-7 victory in Fort Wayne. They won last Friday night over Northside. Goshen quarterback C.J. Detweiler threw for 311 yards and broke the school record, Joe, for touchdown passes in the game with 5 of them. He's the real deal.
Yeah, he is the real deal, and that was Rick Meyer's record, who played for Notre Dame. So Detweiler, I watched him warm up, Joe. He has a good arm, but most importantly, he's a good decision maker. 15 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's also
say that again.
I know, 15 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. How impressive is that? So you have to feel comfortable when you have the arm strength, but also the decision making, and he completes almost 60% of his passes, but I love his targets. When you look at Ramel Johnson with 62 catches, Devin Love has 22, Brennan Holly 25. Love had 2 touchdowns last week, and Holly had 3. But on the season, Joe, those 3 receivers, 109 catches, over 1,700 yards, and 16 touchdowns. So Detweiler's making the decisions he has to for Goshen, and he has the weapons. But I tell you what we're going to see tonight, what's going to be key for Goshen is, can that Goshen offensive line protect Detweiler against the strength of the Snider team? And that's that defensive line, Joe.
Well, speaking of Snider, big night for the Panthers. Also win a 56-6 one-sided victory over Concord. It was the Panthers' defense kick-starting the avalanche of points. Snider getting 3 interceptions on the night. 2 of them were pick sixes. Also another score from a blocked field goal attempt. And quarterback Michael Hoppert, he was not bad at all. He chipped in with 4 touchdown passes. He also ran for a score.
Yeah, he was excellent last week, and if you're Goshen, it has to be frustrating because on the season, Snider runs the ball about 80% of the time, Joe, and Goshen's ready to put 7, 8 guys in the box tonight to stop the run, and all of a sudden, Hoppert goes 9 for 11 and 4 touchdowns last week. If Snider throws the ball like that, Goshen's going to be in trouble tonight, Joe.
Panthers Red Hawks here tonight in Goshen. Snider looking for its 10th straight football sectional championship. Goshen, well, it would be for them their first championship since 2000. We'll take a timeout. We'll take a 3-minute break. We'll return with our Midwest America Credit Union pregame show, and we'll also check in with Snider head coach Kurt Teppan when we return to Goshen. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket. We are back with head coach Kurt Teppan. You know, so often, Coach, we talk about a Money Woods, we talk about a Christian Covington, or maybe a Michael Hoppert as being the keys, the instrumental to a victory. And Hoppert played well for you last week. He had 4 touchdown passes. But last week was kind of a case of your defense and special teams stepping up big for you. You'll take that every night of the week, won't you?
Well, certainly. They had some huge plays and momentum-changing plays. And Concord was, able to move the ball a little bit on offense in the beginning, and then we were just opportunistic with some big turnovers, and then, just the desire to get it in the end zone, and created some big plays on defense, and I think 21 points, that's huge.
I thought Austin France had a great comment during the week talking about the ability, having played Concord the week before, the ability to see them on film and check out tendencies. How much of a factor, if any, was it as far as now you got the replay again with Goshen, and does the film session bear fruit?
Certainly, you're able to have a reference point of when a lot of these guys that played in the game last year, but also the film and lining up against the stuff that we do. There's always some differences, but Goshen's a team that I think has a plan, so they're pretty true to what they've been doing because it's been working for them. So, I think both teams don't anticipate a whole lot of changes to what, we both faced last year.
Last week, C.J. Detweiler throws for a school record 5 touchdowns. Break him down on film, what you see. How is he different this year than maybe a season ago?
Well, he's much more experienced in his decision making. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. I mean, he's thrown 15 touchdowns and not 1 interception. So, he's running their offense, and it's a great compliment to him, and that their production on offense really kind of stems from him, both the run game and the pass game. He's able to lead that and just do it in an effective manner, and that's why they've been productive.
How about points of emphasis tonight for Snider to win?
Well, I think always, we got to hold on to the ball, and up front, we got to win the battles on both sides of the ball, offensive and defensive lines. That's where it begins. And then, just be productive doing the things that we do. It doesn't have to be wow, but we just have to, play some fundamental, sound defense and offense and special teams, and we can be victorious.
Play Snider football.
That's right.
Head coach Kurt Chipman, his Panthers are 10-0 undefeated, 9-0. They finished in the SAC this year, ranked in number 1 in both 5A polls, the coaches poll and also Associated Press, and they are undefeated on the road this year at 4-0. Of course, that memorable year season ago, 13-1 overall, 8-1 in the SAC. They beat New Palestine 64-61 in the 5A championship ball game. Goshen Redhawks are coached by Kyle Park. He's in his 3rd year as the head coach. They are 3-1 here at home, 8-2 overall. They finished 5-2 in the Northern Lakes Conference this season. In 5A, the coaches poll have them ranked number 10, and the writers have them ranked number 11. Let's take another 3-minute timeout. We'll be back with more of our Midwest America Federal Credit Union pregame show. We'll take a look at other games going on around elsewhere in sectional championship matchups when we return to Foreman Field here in Goshen, Indiana. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Okay, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and please remove your caps as we honor this great country with the playing of our national anthem.
Snider getting ready to go to work, taking on the Goshen Redhawks here tonight in Goshen. With Joe Walburn, I'm Joe Parson. Glad you could join us tonight from Foreman Field. Beautiful layout here, laid out from west to east as we get ready for the reenactment of our coin toss with our referee tonight, Dave Spencer and his crew out of Goshen, by the way. And 53 degrees, they tell us here, just ahead of kickoff. Just a little bit of twilight out of the west to our right. Winds out of the west about 5 miles an hour. It will drop down, though, to the mid-40s before we leave the air here tonight. Let's take a look at some of the other games going on elsewhere in the 6A sectional championship. Homestead plays at Warsaw tonight. Spartans are 8-2 on the year. Warsaw at 6-4. Spartans, if they win that ball game, they would be at Fishers next Friday night or home against Carmel. As far as the 4A sectional championship, undefeated New Haven, they're at home tonight against 8-3 Bishop Dwenger. The Bulldogs would be at Northwood, or they would host East Noble next Friday night. Saints are going to be on the road either case if they win tonight. In 3A, Concordia at 9-2. They're at Bishop Lures at 6-5. Lures, if they win, they will be at West Lafayette or home to Twin Lakes next Friday night. Cadets, they're home either way if they win the ball game. In 2A, it is South Adams at 7-4. They're taking on 9-2 Cherubusco, and in the 1A sectional championship, it's Adams Central at 10-1. They're taking on Monroe Central at 11-0. The Golden Bears, by the way, they have 5 shutout victories this year, so that'll be a tough assignment tonight for the Adams Central Flying Jets. We're looking at the two teams as far as their scoring offense. The Panthers come in averaging 44.2 points a ball game, giving up about 14 points a contest. Goshen averaging 27.3 on offense, but also giving up 22.3. Last week, it was a record-breaking game for senior quarterback C.J. Detweiler for Goshen last Friday night against Northside. 6'3" quarterback threw for 5 touchdown passes in the game that broke Rick Meyer's record of 4 touchdown passes in a single game. Redhawks swarmed past the Legends 49-7 a week ago. 6'3" junior receiver Brandon Holly was the recipient of 3 of those touchdown throws. Detweiler also ran for a score. Goshen defense, linebackers Liam Morales and Alec Lear, they combined for 21 tackles against Northside. Morales also had a fumble recovery, and Lear had an interception. As far as the Panthers last week, they were home against Concord's Minutemen. Snider bunched together 49 points over the second and the third quarters en route to a 56-6 victory. Panther defense picked off 3 Minutemen passes. They limited Concord to lone field goals in just the first quarter and then in the fourth quarter. No touchdowns for Concord a week ago. It was the defense, though, leading the way, holding a slim 7-3 first quarter lead. Snider's Austin France and Todd Starks each returned interceptions for touchdowns. Throw in a Darius Morgan 90-yard return off a blocked field goal. It was 35-3 Snider at halftime. As far as some of the individual numbers elsewhere, quarterback Michael Hoppert, he was 9 of 11 through the air for 172 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks. He ran for 1 score. Senior wide receiver Mac Hippenhammer, he had just 4 catches on the night, but 2 of them were for touchdowns. And fullback Drew Stroud also had a receiving touchdown. Waiting for Snider to come out onto the field, and we'll have the meeting at midfield for the reenactment of the coin toss. Let's take a look at the Panther defense from a week ago. 3 interceptions, 3 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 block kick. 295-pound defensive tackle Lawrence Johnson led the Panthers with 9 tackles. He had 2 sacks, and cornerback Dominique Slaughter finished with 3 tackles and also a block kick. Well, the Panthers have not lost on the road since October 17th of 2014 when they lost 41-32 at Wayne. That is 12 straight road victories now for the Snider Panthers. Now here come the Redhawks, the Big Red, onto the field here at Foreman Field. Their only losses for Goshen, September 9th here, 35-12 to Northwood. And then September 23rd at Warsaw, 43-14. They have won 4 in a row, 5 of their last 6 ball games. The 49 points last Friday was the most by Goshen. You have to go back to a 49-3 win in the 2010 season at Michigan City. Last year it was the first ever matchup. And getting ready now with Dave Spencer, our referee, calling the co-captains out to midfield. Looks like we're going to be just slightly late starting this ball game. Snider's still huddled up en masse right about midfield. Now the referee kind of breaks that up, and the Panthers head to the sidelines, and we'll see the co-captains coming out here shortly. Snider had 3 sacks last week, gave up none. And of course the stat that really just jumps out at you from a Goshen standpoint, C.J. Detweiler, he's thrown for 1,664 yards and 15 touchdowns. He has not been intercepted this year. He's averaging 166.4 yards a ball game. Let's go down to Joe Walburn with the introduction of the players and the coin toss reenactment.
Hey, go ahead and introduce yourselves. Mr. Mike Grenner, your umpire. Mr. Dave Spencer, be your referee. Hey, sportsmanship, guys. All right. Red take care of red, white take care of white. All right. There's a reason why you guys are captains. Make sure you show it tonight. All right. Hand the ball to the official on all loose balls. Running back, give the ball to the umpire right there. Okay. You guys all set? Good luck to you guys. Any questions? Okay. There's a tail and a head. There's a head and a tail. Snider, you call before I throw in the air. Called heads. It's a tails. Goshen, if you want the toss, you want to defer, or you want the ball? You want to defer to second half?
There you have it, Joe. Goshen wins the toss, and they're going to defer. So we're going to look at that Snider run game early on. As far as the field, it's turf, Joe. I've never seen turf so pretty in all my life. I remember when I played, we played on parking lots. As far as the weather, it's wonderful out here, Joe. I can't believe it's November. The weather's so nice out here. So, man, what a night for a sectional championship.
Your old Joe Walburn, just like me. We'll see you back up top. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
I think this is a big test for the Goshen defense to start off. I think if you can force Snider to 3 and out, I think that's going to just make the confidence levels of the Goshen game higher. And then if you can come out, that says you have to score, but if you can move the football against them, I think it's going to just build the thing as the game plays on.
Let's give it a fantastic year live at Foreman Field, home of the Goshen Redhawks, and Matt Ness momentarily.
Goshen won the toss, deferred. They'll kick away from right to left. That's out of the west end zone. They'll tee it up at the 40-yard line, so Snider will have the first opportunity to touch the football. Mac Hippenhammer drops back in kick return. He's had 10 kickoff returns this year. He's had 1 touchdown, a long of 89 yards. He's averaging just under 37 yards a kick return. So we'll see if they do kick it deep or pooch the ball to someone else. Also back deep is going to be Money Woods. He stands up outside the 15-yard line. And let's see who else is back there. Looks like Demarius Ridley is also to the near side at the 15-yard line. So you like that turf, huh? I'll give you a chance to get your headset on here. Ready to go to work, though. Here comes the kick. And we're under the way. And they do go onside, far side. That's a loose ball. Anybody's ball. A dive for him at the 45-yard line. And let's see if the Redhawks think they've got it. No decision yet by the officiating crew. And the Redhawks do have it. So they go onside and they've got the ball.
That's a big gamble because Snider can score quickly and pays off for Goshen. So the short field for Goshen. So we'll see if the Snider defense can shut them down, Joe. I'm surprised they did that, but it pays off.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Goshen. They get it at the Snider 45-yard line. And what a break for the Redhawks. They're rolling the dice early here tonight at home at Foreman Field. Jeff Stoll will be the running back. Quarterback is C.J. Detweiler. They'll work out of the shotgun formation from right to left as we look at it. 2 wide to the near side. And we're waiting for the first snap from scrimmage. And it'll be a Goshen with the ball, and they'll hand the ball to Stoll up the middle. He's got running room inside the 40s all the way down for a first down inside the Snider 35. Quick hitting play, and Stoll, who leads them with 7 rushing touchdowns, explodes up the middle. And let's see if they mark him down just short. They do. It'll be 2nd down and 1 after a gain of 9.
And that's what they want to do. They want to spread you out wide. Stoll averages almost 5 yards a carry, Joe. So they want to use these receivers, but also run Stoll between the tackles.
Brandon Holly is wide to the short side to the right, 2 wide to the left. Here's a quick slant coming. They've got an open receiver and a catch inside the 25. Gained down to the 22-yard line. That's Devin Love, who had 149 yards and catches last week on 4 catches, 2 touchdowns. He averaged over 37 yards of pass reception, and he was wide open.
Yeah, he was. Lots of weapons for Goshen, and I like their tempo, Joe. They want to play the hurry-up offense, and so far it's been effective.
1st and 10 from the 22. Now they work from the left side hash mark. They'll go with Stoll again, off tackle on the left side, lowers the shoulder, bowls his way inside the Snider 20, down to the 19-yard line. Remember, Concord had some early success last week against Snider until the Panthers flexed their defensive muscles.
Yeah, going to be important for that defensive line of Johnson, McDowell, Stroud, and Johnson for Snider to step up and start to make some pressure and hurry up Detweiler.
Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Stoll again off tackle. He's to the 2nd level inside the 15, pushes the pile down to about the 14, maybe the 13-yard line. This offensive line for Goshen averages 249 a man. Brandon Chavez at center. Solomon Faustino and Stephen Worlds are the guards, and Brock Tartaris and Jacob Biller are the tackles. It's 3rd down and a long 2 on 3rd downs. We'll see how Goshen fares from the left side hash mark, and here's a quick throw to the left side. That one's tipped in the air and caught by the quarterback, and he's inside the 5 and down to the 2-yard line. Tip ball came right back to C.J. Detweiler. Snider kind of froze on the play. It'll be 1st and 10. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, Will Johnson jumped up from his defensive end position, Joe, bats the ball back, and Detweiler just sees it sitting there, and you sure can. He catches it up and gets upfield. 1st and goal for Goshen.
Stoll in there, offset to the right side, and they'll give the ball to him. And no, it's a quarterback keeper call that time. And boy, I tell you what, there's a fumble into the end zone, and that one is going to be, let's see if it's recovered for a touchdown. And let's see, it went through.
Now I think it went out the back of the end zone, so that should be a touchback, shouldn't it, Joe?
Should be, and should come out Snider's way at the 20. We'll wait and see.
Detweiler was spinning at the goal line, and Austin France lowers the boom, Joe, and Detweiler gives the football up. I thought Goshen initially was on it, but they couldn't corral it, and the ball goes out of the end zone, so what a break for Snider.
They get over the ball back at the 20. Was in a sense, if you want to look at it from a Panther standpoint, they feel that's where they should have had it to start the game.
Yeah, exactly. But how about Goshen's tempo? Goshen does some damage with the offense, but the big hit by Austin France. And I think that's a situation where Detweiler's a heck of a player, but you have to understand, these guys for Snider can chase so hard backside. Sometimes you want to go down and protect yourself, and France creates the big turnover for Snider.
So now the Panthers dodge a bullet, and they will get the ball first. Michael Hoppert at quarterback. 9 of 11 last week against Concord, 172 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks as he looks to hand the ball off. Here's Money Woods, turns the corner, across the 25, 30, and all the way up to the 35-yard line. The turf you mentioned is very beautiful here. It's a little spongy, though, I thought.
It is spongy. It seems fast, Joe, but it is spongy. I'm just never was used to turf like that. We used to take a little strip of carpet, put it over the parking lot, and play it on that, but I think the Snider kids were bouncing around on it before the game. Were excited.
You used to tell your guys, go down by the Buick, I'll hit you.
That's right.
There's a blow snap that's picked up by Hoppert. He escapes one tackle off the ball, and Goshen's got it. So the second fumble recovery, this time at the Snider 29. Low snap, and Hoppert had trouble finding the handle. And once again, it will be Goshen with a marvelous opportunity. 1st and 10 at the Panther 29-yard line.
It looked like Ramel Johnson fell on that football for Goshen, but that time Hoppert had the low snap. And sometimes when you get those low snaps, it screws all the timing up. And Hoppert was trying to turn in the pocket, and he gets hit and fumbles. So both quarterbacks fumble early, and now This is very important for Goshen if they can put this ball in the end zone, and Snider needs to stop here, Joe.
Second possession of the ball game already for the Red Hawks. We have 9:26 remaining in the first quarter, no score. But here is Stahl again, turns up the middle, but Snider denies him right at the spot, and he may get back to the line of scrimmage. That is it.
And that's the strength of the defense. We talked about the defensive line. Lawrence Johnson has 8.5 sacks. Zach McDowell has 4.5. Drew Stroud has 6. Will Johnson has 10. Almost 30 sacks, Joe, out of that front four. A front four that I think is maybe the best that I've seen in Fort Wayne in the last 10 years.
Snider comes in with 37 sacks on the year, 3 of them, as Joe mentioned, last week against Concord. Second down and 10. Here's a roll to the left side, and there's a penalty flag. Generally, that does not bode well for the offense on procedure. Let's see. Dave Spencer will let us know. And it is false start against the Red Hawks. That'll cost them 5 yards, so it'll be second down and 15.
And I think they're fortunate because they were going to roll Detweiler, and Andrew Stroud that time had a beat on Detweiler. So it's going to be interesting to see. Goshen likes to move their quarterback around, but I'm telling you, I would max protect, use the 3 receivers if I'm Goshen, because with Stroud and Johnson at the defensive ends for Snider, you are not going to get outside them, and that is such a strength for Snider.
Brandon Holly's in. He's tight to the right side, the short side of the field. Here's again a roll by Detweiler. Looks, throws on the move, and a diving attempt, and let's see if it's a catch at the 26. That is a catch, but only, well, they get the penalty yardage back plus a gain of 3, so it'll be third down and about 7 coming up for Goshen.
Yeah, Devin Love again that time, Joe. He averages almost 19 yards a catch, and these receivers for Goshen are going to be some of the best that Snider has seen this year.
Devin Love wide to the left side. He's 6'1". 3 wide to the right now. Snider showing blitz, and here's a quick slant. They've got a catch and a spin move. That's a run down inside the 15, down to the 12-yard line. Ramel Johnson showing some quickness. He's a 6'1" senior.
Yeah, and he's probably their best player, plays both ways. Comes in with 62 catches, Joe, over 900 yards and 9 touchdowns. And Snider's going to have to lock down on that slant, because if they can get one-on-one coverage, and they're going to put Johnson back out here and throw the slant to him, that's all night long.
Panthers with 3 deep in coverage. Here's a bad snap, and it's Detweiler's got to go back and cover up on it outside the 25. Slams the ball to the turf. Unhappy about that snap from Brandon Chavez.
Yeah, wasn't expecting it. Detweiler was checking what Snider was in, and he was changing the play because he had man-to-man coverage on the bottom with Love, and he wanted to go to Love against Snider, and the ball was snapped, and Detweiler didn't expect it.
So it'll be second down after the loss. Ball back at the 25, second down and 22. Here's looking left in the fade to the left corner. He's got a man out there. Ball chipped in the air. That's incomplete. That was almost intercepted that time, as Snider had good coverage and a good beat on the ball that time by Demarius Ridley.
Yeah, Ridley that time rotated back and helped out Dominique Slaughter. I like Slaughter. He's a tough kid, Joe, a good corner. But that's going to be a tough matchup because for Goshen, that receiver out there, Devin Love, is big, Joe. He's bigger than what he's listed at, so Snider's going to have to double him.
Spread offense now for the Red Hawks. They've got a third down and 22, 7:24 on the clock in the first quarter. Second opportunity. Roll the left side for Detweiler. Looks over the middle, and a high ball that's nearly picked off in and out of the hands of Ridley as the receiver, Johnson, fell down. Johnson leads them with 62 catches coming in, but that was in and out of the hands of Ridley just ever so quick.
Yeah, and Snider had a double coverage where they had some coverage underneath and back behind, and Detweiler almost fit that football in there, but overall pretty good pass defense that time, Joe.
Charlie Collins will come in to attempt a field goal. This is going to be a long one, Joe, of about 42 yards. He was 1 for 1 last week against Northside, hit a 21-yarder. This one from 41 yards out, right dead on in the middle. 41-yard field goal attempt for the lead. Kick is going, got a lot of leg into it, and it is on target and good.
Wow.
41-yard field goal for Charlie Collins, 3-0 in favor of Goshen here with 7:17 on the clock. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back to Foreman Field here at Goshen High School. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket. There's still no comparison. Verizon Wireless inside the Glenbrook Mall is still number one when it comes to pricing and service. Stop in at Verizon Wireless inside the Glenbrook Mall and discover the new plans and promos such as carryover data and no overages. There's only one Verizon Wireless to shop with. That's Verizon Wireless inside the Glenbrook Mall, because better matters. Here's the kick away. It'll diving kick. It'll go into the end zone, and that's over the end line. It'll come out 1st and 10 for the Panthers, and trying to get things going. They're on the short end of a 3-0 score, and that's not often you say that.
No, you don't. It's going to be important now for Michael Hopper to come out here and calm down, and Snider to get back to their run game. They've got excellent backs and Money Woods and Christian Covington, and they have a big, strong offensive line. So now if you're Snider, you kind of want to take control of this game in the trenches, run the football, and let Halpert settle into this game, Joe.
Money Woods checks back in as the running back, lined up behind Michael Halpert. 2 wide to the left on 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Halpert looks to hand the ball off. Woods hit right at, no, he kept it himself. Halpert all the way across the 30-yard line. Read option executed very well by the Panthers, and they're all the way up just close to their 35-yard line.
And that's something so underrated about Halpert. He averages almost 8 yards a carry, Joe, so he can be very deceptive on that read option. An excellent read that time and a big-time run for Halpert.
Improving field position out by the Panthers as they trail it 3-0 early on. Now they're going to flip-flop Money Woods to the left side of Halpert. Play clock shows 15 as they check that defense by Goshen. They've got time to change the play if they so choose. 2 wide to the right. Now they come up with a blitz to the right side. And here's Halpert again. Curls up, and he's across the 40 to the 43. So Michael Halpert, who came in with 70 carries and 569 yards, he's called his own number the last 2 snaps.
Yeah, he's a deceptively good athlete. You know, we talked about throwing the ball last week, but if Halpert can run it, it puts extra stress on the defense, because obviously you have to deal with Hippenhammer and Money Woods and the big tight end half. So if Halpert can be a force with his legs, it's going to open up this offense.
2 wide to the right, including Jordan Gorman, play action fake, and boy, they wanted to hand the ball off. Money Woods, he gives ground trying to come back, and is going to be dumped. Did he lose the ball? No, he didn't. He covered up, but he's has a loss back around his own 39-yard line.
And that was the good penetration for Goshen. The strength of the Goshen defense, Joe, is their linebackers. We mentioned Ramel Johnson, but also Dylan Ball, and they are strong with the linebackers, and they're going to put the pressure on the interior of that Snider offensive line that's had some guys switching positions.
3rd down and 6 for the Panthers, working from left to right. They trail it 3-0. Pistol alignment, play action fake again. They give the Woods. Woods looking for running room. Turns, spins off a tackle, fighting across the 45. That's where he had to get for the 1st down. I believe they're going to mark him short, although looks like Zenden Dillinger indicates 1st and 10. We've not, they put the ball down where?
It's going to be about a yard short, half a yard short, and if I'm Snider with the big offensive line, I'd put the big fullback Stroud in here, Joe, and I'd run off tackle and get this 1st down. But you made a good point. Woods' second effort has gotten Snider to a position where I think they can go for this, Joe.
They're going to huddle up. There's 10 on the play clock. Now with 8, they're just coming up to the line of scrimmage. They come in that full house backfield. And here is the give, and there's a drop ball, and a second effort. I don't think they got there.
Yeah, Hippenhammer came in at quarterback, and Hippenhammer fumbled that ball, Joe, when he turned to give it to Woods. And, wow, a big stop for Goshen. And, you know, when you gamble like that, now you give up the short field. So right now on offense, Snider is just not sharp. That's 2 turnovers, Joe.
They'll put it down at the Snider 43-yard line. That's 3 fumbles already, and we still have 4:48 remaining in this 1st quarter.
It just seemed rushed that time. I mean, they had a lot of time on the play clock. Hippenhammer really was rushing the play, and I think they could have took a deep breath, take a moment. That's the one thing I hate, and I know they're successful with Hippenhammer. That's what I hate, the switching around with the quarterbacks.
They were deciding to huddle up with about 10 on the play clock, and they probably should have called a timeout. Now, Detweiler throwing the right side. He's got a catch. Let's see. No, it's ruled no catch. Going up high with Johnson or Holly out there that attempted to pull that one in, but unable to get a foot in bounds, did not hold on anyways with a 6'3 junior, Brandon Holly.
Yeah, and that is such a hard pass to defend for Snider because Detweiler's so accurate. He can throw that ball to the outside shoulder, and Holly almost made the circus catch.
Second down and 10 at the Panther 43, 3-0 in favor of Goshen. And they'll run Stoll, and he finds some running room, nudges inside the 40, maybe got to the 39. They'll mark him down right at the 40. So he'll pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards, and it'll be third down and long for the Red Hawks.
I watched Stoll warm up, and I liked him, Joey. I listed him as 5'8", 165. He seems bigger on the field, but he's one of those kids that understands pad level, and every single play, it's an effort to bring him down.
Red Hawks trying to reach the Snider 33. Quick screen comes to the right side, looking for running room, and that's not going to get it done as Panthers shut that one down at about the 36. It'll bring up fourth down and still about 3. And we'll see a decision. They're going to bring Charlie Collins out once again.
It's a heck of an open field tackle by Demarius Ridley. The 5'11", 170-pound senior squares up and makes that tackle. I thought Goshen had a chance to get more yards on that, Joe.
You ready for this, Joe? This will be a 51-yard. Well, no, they got Collins in as they're going to try to come with a hard count and maybe draw Snider off. Still 12 on the play clock. Now they're going to run a play with Charlie Collins out of the Wildcat, and it's a short snap and now a penalty flag thrown.
Yeah, that was just too much trickery. They tricked themselves. Everybody went on 1, and the center was going on 2, so I'm assuming that Collins was going to punt that ball. So now I think they probably get into their traditional punt team and punt the ball and try to pin Snider back deep here. But really for Goshen, Joe, a good start. You know, last year, you mentioned it, they were blown out, and Snider took control quickly. This year, Goshen is really in this game early on.
So let's see if they do kick it away. You got to be a little suspicious now. Collins stays in there.
It's an odd formation to punt, but I think it'll be a short punt. They have Hippenhammer all the way back. So
Collins waits at the Snider 47 and trying to run to the right side again. Whistles, flags thrown, and once again it's going to be penalty, I believe, against Goshen.
It's going to be a false start, and I think what's going on is you got your offense out there, and guys aren't quite sure where to line up. They got the punter in, who's going to run and punt the ball.
They're confused. Look at Romeo Johnson going, what do you want me?
What do you want me? Should I be in the slot? Should I be on the line of scrimmage? Should I punt protect? What are we doing here?
Hippenhammer's back, but not deep. He's only back at his own 31.
Just punt the ball away. That's,
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
And it was called out. Was nearly blocked. Might have been partially touched, but it'll come down to about the 27-yard line.
And see, I don't understand that at all because big old Lawrence Johnson had a hand on that, 6'4", 295, and they were right at the line of scrimmage punting that football. I don't understand that, but actually, a not bad field position for Snider for what could have been after that fumble at midfield, Joe. So now Snider needs to calm down and get some continuity with this offense and get some first downs. And most importantly, protect the ball. This isn't Panther football. You don't see Panthers turn the ball over much, do you?
3 fumbles already in this ball game. It's still just 3-0 Goshen. Panthers will have it at their own 28-yard line. They'll work from the right side hash mark out of the east end zone, left to right as we look at it. Pistol alignment again for Michael Hoppert. He's got one wide either side and play action fake. He screens the ball, and that's in and out of the hands of Simon Dellinger. 230-pound sophomore cannot find the handle.
Yeah, and he's a big kid at tight end, Dellinger. And that's a situation where 6'4", 230, it's tough when you're rolling to your left, but just take a little bit off it and just kind of loft it out there and let him get his big paws up and grab that. So you don't want to put the mustard on that pass because you got to let Dellinger pull that ball in.
3:20 on the clock here in the first quarter. Christian Covington is in as the running back looking for running room. He's up the middle of the 35 to the 40. Straight arms one and bowls his way into Goshen territory to the 49-yard line. Christian Covington with a big run.
What a run, 6 feet, 195. Did you see the pause? He paused just for a moment to let the pulling guard kick the defensive end out. Then he explodes through the hole. So it's so exciting. Money Woods is so good, but Christian Covington, what an answer at the second back too.
Nose of the football just outside the 48. Covington again feeling his way, steps out of tackles. He's in behind the defense to the 25, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and to the house. Christian Covington with a 48-yard touchdown at the 250 mark.
Explosive. I'm telling you, the future in the backfield of the Panthers. What a run. Hit at the line of scrimmage, sidesteps the tackle, steps over the linebacker, and motors to the end zone. You saw power, you saw feet, you saw balance, and you saw speed. Excellent run by Christian Covington.
You get the feeling that Snider just a little bit upset with themselves at this point.
That's an answer, and that's a heck of an athletic play out of a running back who always makes the most of his carries.
Paul Boozman comes on. He was 8 for 8 last week in extra points against Concord. Waiting for the snap. Trying to make it a 7-3 ball game. Right-footed kick is on the way, and he's got good elevation. It's good. 7-3 in favor of the Panthers, bouncing back to take their first lead of the night. We'll return to Goshen. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 12:50 The Ticket. With Joe Auburn, welcome back to Goshen, Indiana. Took him a while to get organized, but Christian Covington had the answer with that 48-yard dash to the house.
That was a heck of a run. He comes in with 15 touchdowns, Joe. So we talk so much about Money Woods, but Christian Covington has had a breakout season, too. And on that play, Joe, he really had nowhere to go. And very impressed with the strength to run through the line of scrimmage like that. So that's the big play that Snider needs. And Snider comes in, they run the ball about 80% of the time. So they want to be physical up front and really press upon the defense their will of running the football. And I thought they did that with Christian Covington. And we'll see now if that wakes Snider up.
Taylor Glasgow comes down as the kick comes inside to Romel Johnson. He'll let that bounce, and it's out of bounds just inside the 5. So that'll come out. It'll be a penalty to the 35-yard line for the Redhawks as they go back to work, but trailing now for the first time tonight at 7-3.
And now we're going to really see this matchup with the Snider defensive line against the Goshen offensive line. I think that's the matchup that will decide this game. So now Goshen, this is the first time that they have the ball deep in their territory. So let's see how they get this defensive line blocked for Snider.
Lawrence Johnson at 6'4", 295. Zach McDowell also at 6'2", 275. Those are a couple of wall refrigerators in there.
And what's impressive is, last week Johnson had 9 tackles. So not only is he a defensive tackle, Joe, he's making plays.
And 2 sacks.
Correct, he's making plays. So I just can't say enough about the Snider defensive line. And we really haven't even talked about Austin France. So, there is just talent at every single level for Snider.
Again, some kind of confusion on the field with Dave Spencer, our referee, and the coach, Kyle Park. They've not yet started the play clock. Really a conversation going on between those two, now with the side judge. And
you hate that if you're the offense, especially quarterback, because you want them to spot the ball and you want to play.
Here we go now. The snap to Detweiler, hands the ball, and boy, Stoll. They gang tackle him, never got back to the spot. And the guys we talked about, there's big Lawrence Johnson.
They're awesome. Johnson and McDowell are awesome. And then you have Stroud. And I think Will Johnson is a really intriguing prospect on the next level. Not the biggest guy, Joe, maybe 6'1", 210 at the defensive end. He could play a Mike linebacker position at a big school next year.
7 tackles last week, 10 sacks on the year. Quick throw to the right side, and that's a big catch. As a quick slant, Brandon Holly, and it ran right by one of the Snider players all the way into the Panther 47-yard line.
Yeah, that was Ethan Hoover who came over and made the tackle. But that Snider secondary, they're going to have to lock down those slants. Out there, too, is Taj Starks. So Taj Starks and Ethan Hoover have to communicate because that's Goshen's bread and butter are those slants.
Coming down to 2 minutes time remaining in the first quarter. On the move are the Redhawks, and Stoll trying, and the scooches down and is able to run inside the Panther 40 down to the 39. They couldn't find him at 5'8".
Now, that's a good run because Stroud's big and strong. And Stroud had his hands on Stoll that time, and he breaks the tackle and gets upfield. So I'll tell you what, Goshen's a good team. This is impressive to watch the Goshen offense.
That's a gain of 8, second down and short, 2nd and 2, 2 wide to the left side. The work from the right side hash mark. Detweiler wants to load up, wants to throw wide open. Boy, they're playing way off of him. And here's a catch and a run inside the 20 down to the 15. And boy, nobody near Brandon Holly. That's an easy pitch and catch.
And what Snider's playing on that far side is cover 2. And with that corner, lets him go to the safety. Holly's wide open. But Hoover has got to come up and put his pads on Holly and make him pay for that, because Detweiler, as accurate as he is, Joe, he's going to attack that all night long.
1st and 10 from the 16. Stoll again off tackle the left side and breaks it inside the 15. Got a yard and a half, maybe close to the 13. Oh, they're going to give him a good spot close to the 12.
We'd heard a lot of good things about Holly and the other receivers for Goshen, Johnson and Love, and they are as good as advertised, Joe.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. They'll spot it at the 13-yard line from the right side hash mark. Detweiler out of the gun, looks to his left, throws a quick slant, got a high ball that's caught at the 5, and that is close to a 1st down. Let's see where they spot it. And they will move the chains. It'll be 1st and goal for the Redhawks, trying to take the lead back, trailing it right now at 7-3.
It's just too much of a cushion for Snider. They're going to have to tighten up the cushion and get on those receivers. Too much room, too much space for Detweiler to pick them apart.
Devin Love wide to the left side. Stoll looking for running room in the middle, and he drags tacklers down inside the 3, close to the 2-yard line of Snider.
It's a good offensive pace for Goshen. They attack you with the receivers, and Stoll is such a nice complement with the strength inside to run the football.
Now Stoll is coming out of the ball game. Dylan Black will check into the ball game as the running back. He's a 5'8 senior. So I know what the situation with Stoll is, but it will be now. Let's see if they're going to have, well, we've run out of time. Yeah. That's the end of the first quarter. 7-3 Snider battles back, but knocking on the door of the Redhawks when we start quarter 2 action. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Whether your pain is related to a sport or work-related injury, an accident, or the aging process, our team of leading edge providers are ready to care for you. Goshen Physician Orthopedic Sports Medicine, with locations in Goshen, Napanee, and Syracuse. For more information, visit GoshenOrtho.com.
Don't forget, a lot of games going on elsewhere. Sectional championships all around Northeast Indiana, and SummitCitySports.com will be at many of them, including this one. Go to SummitCitySports.com, and you can check replays and interviews from a lot of different games, a lot of different sports. 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. Goshen trying to forge back to a lead, trailing at 7-3. And here is the whistles blew, and boy, that again, Goshen, that's about the 3rd procedure call, maybe the 4th. No, it's encroachment against Snider that time. It'll be half the distance.
Yeah, and that's where Goshen changes the snap count. Snider's loading up with their linebackers and defensive line, so that's a good move by Detweiler to change that snap count. And Joe, quickly, a couple scores to pass along. New Haven 13, Bishop Dwenger 6 in the second quarter, and Concordia 6, Bishop Lures nothing in the second quarter. So a couple of good games in those sectional matchups.
Jeff Stoll back in, flank to the left side. He looks and runs into a walled second effort trying to get into the end zone. He looks like he stopped short. So it'll be 3rd down in goal from just around the 1-yard line.
And this is where it's so difficult to get the ball in the end zone. Snider's so good with their defensive line, and then the goal line package, their linebackers, it's very difficult to penetrate that and score.
Let's see if Detweiler what he tries to do under center right now, calls his own number straight ahead, and now a penalty flag is thrown.
It's going to be a false start.
I don't think they were set.
I don't think they were set. He went on a quick snap.
How can you go offside? Wow, a quick hitting play like
they
that.
were set because he went on a quick snap, and I didn't think the right tackle was set.
So it'll be third down, and how do you go for half the distance there?
Yeah, third down and half of football is what it is. And now we're going to find out who can get the push. They're going to need their center to fire off and get the push, but that's tough to do when Johnson is 6'4", 295.
Yeah, Brandon Chavez, 5'6", 220. In the Snider load in the middle, and they didn't get there. What second effort they're going to have? Let's see. They're taking a look. No indication yet. And finally, they do call a touchdown. So the quick hitting play gets them a touchdown from a yard out. I didn't think they had the forward progress.
No, I thought he was stopped. He made a second effort and kind of rolled over the pile, but there's a question if that whistle was blown or not. But Detweiler, 6'3", 175, kind of a long kid, and I think he did just enough to get the ball over there. I thought Snider had him stopped, but good drive for Goshen, and man, we have ourselves a good football game, Joe.
Now they have that swinging gate where they line up all the offensive line to one end, then they finally rotate, and they will, with 13 on the play clock, attempt the extra point. Waiting for the snap, and the right-footed kick is long enough on the way, and it is no good. Pushed it off to the right side, so it's 9-7. Goshen, though, back in the lead by a deuce, and will return to Foreman Field after a timeout. IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 12:50 the ticket.
Kicking off for the Red Hawks, number 7, Mason Short. Back deep for the Snider Panthers, number 2, Matt Kippenhammer.
Joe Auburn with us here tonight, and for Detweiler, that's his fourth rushing touchdown of the year. Had one touchdown last week against Northside on the ground, threw for 4, and 9-7, Goshen's got the lead.
Just seems to be in command, doesn't he? Really understands the offense, knows where his receivers are. Stahl runs the ball so hard, so I think Goshen's playing about the best they played all season long. So Snider's going to get the best punch that Goshen can throw. So now we'll see if the Panthers offense can respond and get a touchdown back.
Kick coming from the far side, and they do kick it deep. That'll go into the end zone. Hippenhammer, no chance to return that. Across the goal line, it'll come out as a touchback. So it will be 1st and 10 for Snider.
And that's the thing, maybe not so much with Concord, but when you're the number 1 team in 5A, week in and week out in the playoffs, and you always say it, Joe, you're going to get circled and you're going to get the other team's best shot. I mean, this is an awesome place for a high school football game. I think most of the town was pumped up and coming out to this, so, you know, it's almost a trap, you know, because you know Goshen's here, they're ready to play, and they're going to push Snider.
Goshen is 3-1 this year at home, 8-2 overall coming into tonight's Sectional 10 championship in 5A. And here is the read option. They want to throw. There's Hoppert, and now the whistles blow once again. And procedure is going to be false start against Snider.
Boy, lots of penalties tonight on Snider.
Yeah, this late in the year, you would hope that you've got all those things ironed out.
Yeah, just a little bit off with some of their execution tonight for Snider.
Jordan Gorman in on this series, out wide to the near side. Hippenhammer wide to the right. He's got single coverage out there. They come up and press coverage on him. So 1st and 15 with the ball back at the Panther 15-yard line. And once again, whistles blow. And now you got to start wondering what's going on. And you wonder if Kurt Tibman is going to start coming out and want to chat with some of the officials. Remember, this crew is from Goshen, you mentioned.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that. So, but, you know, Snider's just got to tighten up, take a deep breath, you know, run the ball between the tackles, play smart football, and get after it. But, you know, the longer Goshen's in the game and the more confidence they get, the more dangerous they become.
1st and 20 with the ball back at the 10. And now you got to be careful. Remember, Panthers have had 3 fumbles already. They hand the ball off, and here's a run right off tackle. And second effort with a carry across the 10 up just across the 14-yard line. Christian Covington has run for a touchdown, a 48-yarder that gave Snider its first lead tonight. Money Woods in there right now. And it'll be second down after a gain of 6 and second on about 15. Again, Hoppert might be changing the play call at the line of scrimmage. Play clock at 16. He's got time. Takes the snap. Read option again. Gives to Woods, working off the right side. Caught from the backside, but he was already across the 20 up to about the 21, maybe the 22.
Yeah, good feet, good run by Money Woods. And Snider methodically just runs the football, and that's their game. So you cut the penalties out, they'll be in good shape. But with the penalties, this makes a big third down and an important third down to get for Snider because their defense was having some problems with the Goshen offense.
Panthers trying to reach their own 30-yard line this snap. They were 5 of 9 last week against Concord. They throw up the home run ball, and boy, that Gorman was hit, and there he's going to draw a penalty flag by the defender. Didn't have to do that because that one was not. That was Joshua Sanchez that's whistled for the foul. He taps himself in the helmet, saying, I made a mistake.
And Sanchez basically panicked. Gorman had him beat, but the ball wasn't catchable. And if you fall back on your discipline and find that football and your fundamentals, you're okay. But how about that for a break for Snider? Because that ball wasn't catchable. Snider should be punting the football here. So a huge penalty, a huge first down for Snider.
9:55 on the clock here in the second quarter, but the Panthers now have 1st and 10 at the Snider 37-yard line, moving right to left as we look at it. Hoppert again out of the pistol alignment, looks to his right side, he's got the bubble screen. Here's Hippenhammer dipping and diving, looking for running room, spins off a tackle, across the 45, up to about the 48. That'll be good for another Snider first down.
And I love that play because I know it's to the short side. You know how I feel about short side plays, but when that ball can get out fast to Hippenhammer, it's almost like a long sweep. He gets the ball so fast, and he's such an athlete out there. So I'm telling you, if Snider can mix in a little bit of the pass game, they are so difficult to defend with their offense.
Again, they stay work with the snap from the right side hash mark. Hoppert looking again, read option. Gives it, here's Woods. Cuts it up across midfield and down to the 45. Maybe another yard to the 44 of Goshen. Money Woods.
Yeah, nice back. Nice vision that time. He could have bounced it to the outside, but he made the right choice to plant the outside leg and to get upfield.
Zenden Dillinger starting tonight at tackle on Jackson Reed at one of the guard spots. Joe Thornton center. Colton Hinton at the other guard, and we saw Matt Eastman start, but Carroll has come in. Okay. He's 6'5", 245. So second down after a gain of 7, second and a short 3. Again, here is a play-action fake. Hoppert being pursued, runs to the 45, and still on his feet, on to the 40, and then to the 38-yard line. Michael Hoppert not good. They didn't want to bring him down.
That's a heck of a run because he was being pushed out of bounds, and to cut back against the flow and to get the first down, it's a heck of a play. Now, if I'm Snider, I'm upset because the tight end half that time was held. That was a boot waggle play while Hoppert wanted to throw the ball in the slot to half. Half was held, but Hoppert was lucky to make a positive play out of that.
1st and 10 from the 38 again, and here is Hoppert, hands to Money Woods, trying to break it off to the right side, can't find much running room, and is brought down at about the 37. Let's see if they give him another gain to the 36, and boy, I tell you, Coach Park talking to the officials on the field. Where'd you say these guys were from?
Goshen.
I thought that's what you said.
I tell you what, though, for Coach Park, Ramel Johnson, Dylan Back, Alex Lear, the linebackers are awesome for Goshen, and they can chase. The Snider backs need to plant and get upfield. No dancing tonight because these backers are too good for Goshen.
Gain of 1 for Woods, second down and 9. Money Woods stays in, and here is Hoppert wanting to throw the slant. He's got to catch Hippenhammer. Straight arms on inside the 30 to the 29, and he'll be short of the first down by about a yard.
That's a good pass by Michael Hoppert. I'm a big fan of Hoppert, Joe, because he's not the biggest, and he can run the ball, but he's very timely with this passing. Sometimes he gets a little bit criticized, but that time, that ball came out real nice to Hippenhammer.
Joey's not Isaac Stiebling, but not many people were.
Not many people were, and he's a good high school quarterback.
Exactly. Good point. 3rd and a yard. Woods off tackle. He's got running room inside the 20 to the 15 and all the way inside the 10. Still on his feet, battling down close to the 5-yard line. Money Woods, and he holds on.
That's how you run that football. You get between the tackle, you drop your pads, and that's Panther football. And the reason the lane's so big there is because Hopper's having success throwing the football. So when Hopper can throw it, all of a sudden those lanes are big. And how about Money Woods making those tacklers pay and dragging tacklers towards the end zone?
They mark him down at the 6, second and goal. They work into the I formation now, and here's a give to Woods off tackle, and they're looking for a running room. Pushes the pile down close inside the 1, still on his feet, and they've not whistled the play dead yet. Didn't get in, though. It'll be second down and goal from around just inside the 1.
That's a heck of a block by the fullback, Stroud, out there. I'm always torn because I love to watch the ball, the passing game, but boy, I like to see when Stroud gets on the field, Joe. He just runs downhill with those blocks.
And Will Schwartz came in late and tried to give everybody a boost to the end zone. Under center now, Hopper, straight I formation. Woods again looking for running room. Leaps up the goal line, second effort, touchdown.
Wow.
From a yard out, Money Woods gets the lead back for the Panthers at the 6:23 mark.
Okay, we talked about being annoyed sometimes. That was an angry drive. That was a Snider team that just snapped the ball on precision every time at 9 seconds, threw the ball, and Woods ran angry that time on that drive right up to the touchdown. And we talk about it, good teams answer and good teams respond. Heck of a drive with Snider, and a physical drive at that.
Remember, Joe, they had 1st and 20 at their own 10-yard line.
That's right.
So 90 yards on the drive. Boozman trying to make it a lead of 5. Right-footed kick, a booming kick up inside the upright. It's good, and that'll make it 14-9 in favor of the Panthers here on the road. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 1250 the ticket.
Thank you for the Red Hawks receiving kick number 25, Ramel Johnson, and number 18, Taylor Glasgow. Kicking off for Snider Panthers, number 97, Paul Houston.
Panthers back on top here on the road, 14-9 over Goshen. And don't forget, join us at halftime. Tom Neuenschwander from Amstutz Insurance will join us. Find out what the biggest mistake people make when considering insurance. That's coming up at halftime. And Joe, what else you got?
Yeah, a couple scores. New Haven stretching the lead out. New Haven 21, Bishop Dwenger 6, and a little bit of a surprise. Bishop Luers goes ahead. Bishop Luers 7, Concordia 6.
Here's the kick in the right side. That one will be fielded at the 10. Run middle of the field across the 15, a spin play. And
Nice
they will
coverage.
not reach the 20, so it'll be Goshen. They'll get the ball back, but Snider's got its biggest lead of the night now at 14-9.
Ramel Johnson is awesome, but you're not going to spin on Snider. You couldn't spin on Snider 30 years ago. You couldn't spin on Snider 20 years ago.
And you tried.
Or 10 years ago. Snider's too disciplined and too awesome. Now, one more score to pass along. South Adams 6, Cherubusco nothing. I must say, I wasn't with you last week. Absolutely stunned the South Adams beat Woodland. You know what? I don't normally, try to root for teams, but my heart ached for the Woodland kids because I know when you lose that last high school football game, that's the game you remember in 10 years, and they had such an awesome season last year and this year.
And they had beaten the Starfires down there earlier, 33-6. But that's why you play them. Tough to beat sometimes a team twice in a season. They look the runs stolen. Boy, he is nailed. Stroud came through almost untouched.
And, he's another kid that when you look at the next level, 5'11", 245, but he's so quick. He could play an inside backer position. I mean, I look at Snider, Joe, and I know it's an amazing program. I see so many prospects and so much talent, and they are so well coached.
Loss of 4, second down and 14 Ball's back at the 15-yard line. Here's a quick throw that is nearly intercepted, but leaping high in the air. That's a good catch by Brandon Holly at 6'3". And, boy, you're going to go to a 6'3 receiver all night long if you can.
Yeah, if you can put it up in the area, Holly's going to get it. That's a tough matchup for Todd Starks, who's only 5'8", Joe, but he has to cut down on that cushion. They're giving those receivers too much room.
3rd down and 5. They try to get out to their own just short of the 30-yard line on this snap now from the right side hash mark. Read option again. Stoll. They hang on to him at across the 25. Wow. There was Zach McDowell holding on, but he had a lot of help that time. Austin French was there as well.
And Will Johnson. Will Johnson is so difficult to deal with. I think of all the defensive players, he's the guy that just sticks out as far as being unblockable. That was a heck of a play by Johnson. I don't know what they're doing here. I'm assuming they're going to punt, Joe.
4th and 4. Let's see. They look like they want to run or try to get a quick count. Charlie Collins is in there. Now they've got motion to the right side. Still 11 on the play clock. They've got time. And Snider, here's a high snap and a roll to the right side. And that one is knocked down at the 33-yard line. A free ball. And Snider will have it.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. You're too close to the line of scrimmage. McDowell is 6'4", 295. Johnson is 6'1", 210, who's unblockable. You know, you got to put the max protect in and punt the ball. Now, I'm not complaining because, you know, we're a little biased to Snider tonight, but I just don't get it, my friend. I don't understand that for Goshen. That's going to hurt them there.
You know, the first time they had one that at least partially blocked or almost blocked by Lawrence Johnson. I mean, this one went actually under a Snider defender.
Yeah,
that was a gift.
You're playing around, punting the ball from an offensive formation against the team that maybe arguably has the best defensive line in the state. So I don't understand it, but I do know short field for Snider. Now a chance to attack here with Halpert.
Panthers with 5 and now by 5 and with the ball now at the 34-yard line. Read option again. Covington looking for running room and muscles his way down to about the 32, but Goshen trying to push him back. That'll be a gain, a tough couple of yards that time by Christian Covington, who started this ball game with a 48-yard dash to touchdown.
Yeah, we've talked about prospects for Snider. Ramel Johnson for Goshen, Joe, is awesome.
Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Hopper looking toward the Snider sidelines now. Play clock still with 18. Wideouts, one wide either side of the field. And here is a throw to the near side, a little square out pattern. Hippenhammer got away inside the 20 to the 15, spins down to the 5, 10 to the 10-yard line, and he's finally tackled at the Goshen 7-yard line. And Hippenhammer, what nifty footwork down the left sidelines.
Yeah, the Penn State recruit, and he gets the cushion out there, and Hopper hits him right in stride, and that's what gave Hippenhammer the ability to make that move. So when Snider can throw the ball that effective with their run game, Joe, Goshen won't have an answer.
Gorman wide to the right side. Hippenhammer stays into the short side to the left to give those to Covington up the middle, big hole, and he lost his footing at the 5 and dives down inside the 3.
But I tell you, when they put Dellinger and Haft in there, the double tight end set, and with the big tackles they have, wow, they just moved that defensive line back that time. You know what? I would run the same play here if I'm Snider.
Dellinger tight to the right side, Haft out there as well. And the give again, there's another whistle. And let's see if we're going to have another false start by Snider.
I didn't see it. It seems like they're snapping the ball so quickly and they're in such rhythm. So now I think a great call here would be if they ran the play action and ran one of the big tight ends back behind the formation. I think that would be a heck of a play call and a chance to get a touchdown here.
Penalty is going to move the ball, nose of the football just inside the 9.
Wide receiver all the way. Okay, there they found him. There was a wide receiver all the way at the top.
Uncovered. So Hopper looks to Covington once again and tripped up and still on his feet trying to step out of a tackle, battled down to the 6. Boy, Christian Covington looks like he's really taken his game since the last time we saw Snider to another new level.
Have we seen a team ever, Joe, that had a 1-2 punch at running back like this?
Can't recall it. You know, we've seen a lot of times teams, they refer to Thunder and Lightning because of the difference in running styles, but you got 2 guys for Snider. Now here's the fade thrown to the left corner. Hippenhammer's got it for a touchdown.
Beautiful. Attaboy, Michael Hopper.
7 yards on the touchdown pass to the left corner at the 2:27 mark. Panthers on the board again.
Hip and hammer's awesome, but what a toss by Hopper. That was the fade to the wide side, Joe. You practice throwing those in the bucket, and that time Hopper just put it up there so Hip and hammer could go get it. Excellent execution by Snider. That is a very difficult pass to make, and if you can get it out there, Hip and Hammer's going to bring it in. Huge play for Snider.
Boozman on to attempt the extra point, 8 for 8 last week against Concord. Waiting for the snap as Joe gets ready to make his way down onto the field, and that is a kick that is good. So 21 points on the board now for the Panthers. They lead 21-9 with a timeout here in Goshen. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket. Lead of 12 now for the Panthers here on the road against Goshen. They've scored the game's last 14 points. Redhawks led early 3-0 on a 41-yard field goal by Charlie Collins. Here comes the short approach kick. They'll push it to the far side. That'll come downfield at the 19. Return to the middle of the field. Penalty flags thrown. Romel Johnson still on his feet, then hit from behind, but he was across the 35 up to about the 38-yard line. Let's see if this one's coming back. There were 2 or 3 penalty flags thrown back around the 20-25-yard line. Referee tonight is Dave Spencer. Illegal block in the back against the Redhawks. So they'll have the ball back, but that good return will be wiped out with a penalty. And 2:19 remaining until intermission. Well, the winner of this ball game will advance to next week's regional. Snider wins it. They'll be home to Mishawaka or on the road at Michigan City. And Goshen, if they come back and win this ball game, they'll be on the road regardless of who wins between Mishawaka and Michigan City. So the penalty against the Redhawks will move them back to about their own 19-yard line. 1st and 10. Jeff Stoll will make his way back onto the field as the running back. Redhawks will move now with the football in their bright red uniforms, great bottoms. They'll move from left to right. 3 wide to the right side. That's the wide side of the field. They'll counter run with Stoll and trying to curl his way up to about the 21-yard line. Both teams with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Clock will run inside of 2 minutes before the snap of the football. That is a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. C.J. Detweiler, 6'3" senior quarterback. No interceptions this year. Again, Stoll flanked to his right out of the shotgun formation. Detweiler rolls to his right side, looking, being pursued by Stroud, got away from him, throws on the run, and that's an incomplete pass. And now a penalty flag late on the ball game. That was Ethan Hoover that reached across. He was reaching for the ball, but might have had the backside shoulder. And they're going to call pass interference by this crew from Goshen. So that will move the ball up. Let's see, the walk-off will take the ball. Yeah, they're going to go back and mark it off from the 21-yard line. It should bring it up to about the 34, 35. Well, they'll set it down at the 36-yard line. 1st and 10, improving field position now for the Redhawks. With a minute 44 on the clock. They trail it at home here 21-9. Detweiler sets up out of the gun once again. This time he spreads the offense 2 wide either side of the field. Shotgun formation once again. Detweiler looks, pump fake, now throws the fade near side, looking for Holly. On his fingertips, no good. Taj Starks had the coverage. But again, trying to go to Holly near side at 6'3". Had it in his right fingertips. No chance really to haul it in. And that'll bring up second down and 10 with the clock now down 1:39. Ramel Johnson, part of the trips package to the right side. Holly the widest of all. One wide to the left side. Detweiler again looking to stall. No, you did hand the ball off, and he's going nowhere. And being wrestled out of bounds on the Snider sideline, back around the 33-yard line. Clock will continue to move, and it'll bring up third down. Third down, a loss of 2. Third down and 12. Little surprised Snider hasn't taken one of the 3 timeouts. They lead 21-9. Goshen won the toss, deferred, but they got the ball on a kickoff recovery, fumble recovery. Third down and 12. Detweiler again, long count from the line of scrimmage. Looks quick slant, a low ball not caught. That'll bring up fourth down with 53 seconds remaining. Ramel Johnson, the intended receiver. Austin France came out, had the coverage. Had some help from Tristan Wells out there as well. And now the clock is stopped with 53 seconds remaining. Hippenhammer will drop back in punt return with Demarius Ridley back at the Panthers 40-yard line. Again, Collins is in there, but very close to the line of scrimmage. Oh, they're going to run a play? We will see. Charlie Collins, who can punt the ball, but he sets up out of the shotgun formation. Snider's already had 2 near blocks tonight. High ball this time, he did kick it away. Hippenhammer's going to let that one drop, and it will be picked up at the Snider 37-yard line. So 46 seconds remaining here in the half. And Snider will have decent field position, 3 timeouts remaining. And they'll have it first and 10 at their own 37-yard line. Looking at the potential of a Boozman field goal. He's 10 of 13 this year. But they've got their work cut out for them, trying to move the football a good 30 yards, 30, maybe 35, 40 to give a chance for a field goal. Let's see what happens now. Hoppert wanting to throw. Time in the pocket, throws over the middle. That one's picked off at the 46-yard line. It'll return inside the 35 to the 30, inside the 20, 25, and it will be first and 10 on that pick of Hoppert's pass. That was Alec Lear in the middle of the field, and that ball was thrown right to him. So a mistake by the Panthers gives Goshen an opportunity. Interception, Lear, and he returns it to the Snider. They'll put it down at the 12-yard line. So Michael Hoppert came in with just 6 interceptions on the year. That's his 7th. And Goshen will have a chance to get closer, trailing it by 12 now. And they have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Stoll the lone wide to the right. I should say it is Holly. Here's the fade coming to the left corner. Man out there to catch is made for a touchdown. Devin Love. That was a quick snap that caught Snider flat-footed. So 1 play, 1 touchdown. The interception pays off on the 12-yard touchdown pass from C.J. Detweiler to Devin Love in the left corner of the end zone. Tell you what, this game can turn around in a heartbeat. So that'll make it 21-15. And now the extra point would make it a 5-point ball game. Waiting for the snap. Collins is the holder. Mason Short is the extra point kicker. Right-footed kick on the way, end over end, and it is good. So 21-16 as Goshen on an interception, uses that to bounce back. And they're back within striking distance of Snider. 21-16, still 30 seconds before halftime. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Kicking off for the Red Hawks will be number 7, Mason Short. Back in for the Panthers, number 2, Max Hippenhammer.
Well, one thing you find out, no lead is ever safe. And Snider trying to protect a lead of 12, but putting the ball up in the air, and Hopper picked off. And one snap from scrimmage later, it is now a 21-16 ball game. And Goshen right back into the thick of things. They deferred. They'll get the ball to start the second half. Well, let's see what Snider can do now in the final 30 seconds. Line drive, low drive kick. That's fielded, one bounce by Hippenhammer. Cuts to the 15, 20, 25. And behind the defense, 40, 45. Cuts to the outside in a foot race. Steps out of a tackle inside the 35, inside the 20. He's going to go all the way. That will be a touchdown from Mac Hippenhammer. Picking it up inside the 5. A 96-yard touchdown return. Hippenhammer with 16 seconds on the clock, and Snider bounces back in big-time fashion. 27-16. What a play, and what an answer by the Panthers after being stung by that interception. And now Boozman will come on with the extra point, trying to give them that lead of 12, once again headed, you would think, to halftime. But we've had 2 touchdowns in the final 30 seconds of this second quarter, and it's not over yet. Now here's Boozman, the driving end-over-end kick is on the way, and that is good. So that will make it 28-16. Panthers back on top by 12, and will return to Goshen after this timeout. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket. Hippenhammer, his second kickoff return for a touchdown this season. First one was good for 89 yards. This one exceeds that, and what a timely response by the Panthers after their touchdown by Goshen. 28-16. Still 16 seconds on the clock. Well, the Red Hawks are going to drop 6 different players back inside their own 25-yard line. Boozman approaches, and a low line drive kick that's fielded, and that was picked up by the tight end, normally Austin Bontrager. Returns it across the 35 up to about the 41-yard line, so decent field position, but just 13 seconds now remaining until intermission. Joe Walbert is down on the sidelines. He'll be joining Kurt Tipman here at intermission. And what a wild ball game here in the final 30 seconds here of this first half. So Detweiler trots out onto the field. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Hawks at their own 40-yard line. And again, you would expect they'll be putting the ball up and looking for the 6'3 junior, Brandon Holly. No, they'll run the ball with Stahl. Stahl wrapped up right about the line of scrimmage at the 40, and that may be the final play. It will be of this first half. So Snider stumbling a couple of times so far tonight in this ball game, but they rally and have the lead here at halftime at 28-16. And Joe Auburn will be looking for Kurt Tipman. And we'll just tell you that whenever Joe's ready,
Wow, Coach, what a big play that was with Mac Hippenhammer's return. I mean, you talk about momentum back and forth. That was a huge kick return.
Yeah, it bailed us out of, playing pretty poorly in the first half. We turned it over 4 times, and I don't care who you're playing, the team's going to be in the game. You turn it over 4 times.
Defensively, you've held up pretty good against the run. They've had some success throwing the football. What's the adjustment to try to slow them down with their pass game? And Joe Parson and I talked a little bit. That's a really good quarterback with some really good weapons, Coach.
He's a very good quarterback. 15 touchdowns, no turnovers. On his part, no interceptions. So, the biggest thing we got to do to stop their offense is not turn the ball over. Not put them on the field, and we'll get better at that.
Absolutely. Good luck second half, Coach. There you go, Joe. Coach is fired up, but I can't tell you on the sideline what a big momentum change that was with Hippenhammer's run back, Joe.
The football game of football is a game of momentum and ups and downs. The Panthers were down after that interception against Michael Hoppert that set up the one-play touchdown. They make it a 5-point ball game, but Hippenhammer going with a kickoff return to the house, and it's Snider at halftime now on top again by 12 here on the road at 28-16. We will take a 3-minute timeout, and don't forget, coming back, be sure to join us. We'll have the interview with Tom Neuenschweider from Amstutz Insurance. Have you ever wondered what the biggest mistake people do make when they consider insurance? Tommy's got the answer for us here at halftime when we return with our Indiana-Michigan Power halftime show coming up. 3-minute timeout, 28-12, Snider on the road, leading it 28-16, I should say, by 12 over Goshen. IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 1250 the ticket. We are back. It's halftime. We're with Tom Neuenschwander, who's with Amstutz Insurance, and Tom is one of our valued sponsors. And, we talked about Tom and his longevity of past experience in the insurance business. And Tom, pleasure to have you with us here tonight on this sectional championship night. But why insurance? How did you happen to get into this kind of a racket?
Well, it's an interesting question. I started out in the tool and die trade, and I also ended up at Ivy Tech College working on bookkeeping and that area. So, I'm a licensed journeyman tool and die maker, even though I haven't done it for 37 years. But my grandfather was vice president of Nationwide Insurance. And back in the 70s, before he passed away, him and I spent some time talking, and he told me, if you might want to get insurance, you've got a way you care about people, and if you do, but get in the independent market. And so when the opportunity knocked in 1980, I jumped at it, and it took a while to build it up, but I'm very thankful for it because we've helped a lot of people over the last 37 years.
That is a long time to be involved in. Obviously insurance is a people-oriented type of business. What do you enjoy most of all these years in dealing with people?
The biggest thing is just getting to know them and their families, and then, when they have a claim, is there to help them. When you get all done and they come back and say, thank you, it's a job well done. It's kind of what I thought the good Lord directed my wife and I to go.
I'm guessing in 37 years that you've got some stories about maybe some unique type of coverages that have been requested, or maybe some unusual need for a quick response. Anything come to mind?
Well, it's interesting. Over the years, we've had quite a few different things, and we go scrambling for markets. Probably with me coaching football and umpiring baseball and being a sponsor in Little League, getting uniforms. And one time we had to insure our uniforms coming out of China. So it was interesting getting those things done, but we got it done, got them here, and the kids were happy.
I know over the last year you've had a collaboration with John Amstutz, and that's how we've come up with the name Amstutz Insurance now, and that gives you an additional resource, reach, and access for the clients. And what else comes to your mind, the benefit of that association?
Well, the merger with John has just been a true blessing for us, and also for John. We've got 14 employees now, and everybody has kind of a specialty. I know the other day we had a little bit of difficulty with our computer systems with one company, and Dave Fiant, who is an IT person, helped us out tremendously. We got Michelle Basinger up at Northeast, and she helps us out with the personal lines. We work back and forth. So again, everybody works together. If something unusual pops in, we got somebody to bounce it off. We got 4 offices to help people. I know we've got Amstutz clients down here that have dropped items off that we can scan and ship up to their agent in one of the other offices. So it's truly been a great resource for our clients, and also a resource for John's clients. And so it's a good thing. We're going forward, and we're growing, and we're having fun.
Tom Neuenschwander joining us tonight here at halftime. When people talk about insurance, I think naturally one of the first things, and maybe the only thing they look at, is how low of a cost of premium can I find. From your standpoint, what's the biggest mistake you find people are making when they consider insurance?
Well, and that's a good point, John. I'm sorry, I thought John was here for a minute. That's something John Amstutz and I have talked about quite a while, is when people go online, it's service, and right, we have to have a very quality product, but also have to have competitive rates. But when you have a problem or an accident, you call one of us, we're here to help you. It's not a 1-800 number. We've had a lot of people that have called in an accident and found out that things didn't get reported to the state, they got their driver's license suspended or whatever. So, we're here to help them, we're here to guide them. And so I think that's the biggest thing, is people don't look just at price, look what's competitive, but also if something happens, what do I want paid? How do I want helped?
Well, speaking of rates, why don't you gaze into your crystal ball for a moment here. What do you see happening with auto rates, auto insurance rates, and home insurance rates?
Well, it's a good question there, Joe. We've been told the auto industry right now is not making money. And so we've been told that a lot of our different carriers throughout Indiana may take a 10 to 20% rate increase this next year. John and I have talked to a lot of our carriers that we have, and we feel very strongly that maybe 1 to 5% maximum. So we're going to stay in that competitive range. There's a lot of, people are driving more now because the gas is cheap, and so they're getting out. They got a little bit of money, so that's the biggest thing in that area. The other area that we're seeing is under the homeowners. A lot of people are getting their policies changed to a 1% deductible, actual cash value on their roofs, and don't realize it till all of a sudden they have a claim and they're not getting what they want. So that's one of the things that we've been real adamant, making sure that our clients know that we don't have that 1% deductible. It's a flat deductible, and if there's a problem with the roof, we're right there with them. Otherwise, we got full replacement cost.
Final question here. I'm guessing that as an independent agent, that opens up a realm of competitive companies. You're not locked into just one source.
No, that's another good question, Joe. Appreciate that. Is we have multitude of companies, and being the independent market, we can shop them. We have the software to be able to go out and scan all the markets we have available to us, and come back and build a program that fits and tailor-made for each individual client.
Tom Neuenschwader joining us tonight. He's a guy you should get to know. No outrageous claims, just great competitive rates and even better service. M. Stutson Insurance. You can call Tom direct at 260-622-4169 in Fort Wayne area. That's 622-4169. Now back to more sectional football right here on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket. We are back with head coach Kurt. Halftime here at Foreman Field with Joe Auburn. I'm Joe Parson. There's still no comparison. Verizon Wireless inside the Glenbrook Mall is still number one when it comes to pricing and service. Stop in at Verizon Wireless inside the Glenbrook Mall and discover the new plans and promos such as carryover data and no overages. There's only one Verizon Wireless to shop with, and that's Verizon Wireless inside the Glenbrook Mall, because better matters. Halftime here at Foreman Field, and went a wild first half, Joe. Up and down, the Panthers fell behind early, 3-0. They got the ball. At least they were supposed to get the ball, but it was an onside kickoff recovery that gave Goshen the ball at the Snider 45. They really didn't do anything with it. The Panthers got it back, but they fumbled it away again, and that turned it back to the Goshen Redhawks at the Snider 20-yard line. That would lead to a 29-yard. They got the fumble, I should say, for a second time at the 29. That would lead to a 41-yard field goal by Charlie Collins at the 7:17 mark. 3-0 in favor of the Goshen Redhawks. Then after a fourth down stop, Snider got it at their own 43-yard line. That would, one play later, a 48-yard touchdown run by Christian Covington to the end zone. Boozman with the extra point, and Snider at the end of the first quarter had their first lead at 7-3. Detweiler, though, at the 11:08 mark on a 1-yard touchdown run. The extra point was no good, and Goshen bounced on top by 9-7. But Money Woods, leaping into the air across the goal line from a yard out at the 6:23 mark, gave Snider a lead out of 5 at 14-9. And then Hoppert with a pass to the left corner of the end zone. Hippenhammer was there, and that capped a 37-yard drive as they took over a short punt. 2:27 to remain in the second quarter. 7 yards on the touchdown pass, and Snider had their biggest lead of the night by 12 at 21-9. But then an Alec Lair interception gave a possession to Goshen at the Snider 12. One play later, fade pass to the left corner was good from Detweiler to Love at 30 seconds remaining. 21-16 after Short hit the extra point. But the kickoff was answered, 96 yards. Mac Hippenhammer for the second time this year with a long kickoff return. Touchdown on the kickoff at 16 seconds remaining. That's where we are right now. Boozman to the extra point to make it 28-16. But everything you could ask for, I think. Wide open ball game, Joe, here in the first half. But little by little, you sense that Snider, if they take care of the football, they've had, Coach Tippin mentioned to you, 4 turnovers right in the first half, yet they lead it by 12.
Yeah, and in between those turnovers, they were dominant running the football and throwing the football and had put together some nice long drives. So Coach Tippman's right, they have to clean it up. As far as the end of the half, I would say so far this season, that's been the biggest play of the season so far for Snider. That was an enormous kick return. I was shocked Goshen kicked it to him, and Hippenhammer said when he came off the field, he just wanted to hit the crease full steam, and he did, and makes a tremendous play. That took a lot of the wind out of the sails of Goshen when they ran off the field, but we'll see. Detweiler is a very good quarterback, Joe, and I tell you, these receivers that he has, especially the big receiver for Goshen, Holly, yeah, he's having his way out there. And I think at halftime it's going to be important that Snider makes some adjustments in their secondary. Concordia hurt Snider throwing the football, and Goshen is that same kind of team, except the receivers are bigger.
We'll give you an opportunity. Let's check maybe some of the other scores elsewhere.
Yeah, other scores, New Haven 21, Bishop Dwenger 9. So we heard a lot of talk this week. Is New Haven physical enough to play with Dwenger? Dwenger has 3 turnovers now in the first half, so I think that was part of it. But a lot of people questioned if New Haven was physical enough. We saw New Haven. I think New Haven is plenty physical, so we'll see what happens in the second half of that game. And Concordia getting a test from Bishop Luers. I think Luers is the team, Joe, that has improved as the season went on, but it's 18-7 right now at the half. Some other scores, boy, that team up north named Northwood is a tough team. So whoever wins the Dwenger New Haven game is going to see Northwood. They're up 38-16 over East Noble, and that's not a bad East Noble football team. And then a couple other scores to pass along. South Adams 15, Cherubusco 6. They had the big upset at Woodland last week. The winner of this gets the winner of Mishawaka, Michigan City. That was 8-7 at the half, that game. A couple other games passed along. Jimtown and Garrett are tied at 7. Big game in 1A football, Monroe Central and Adams Central at 6-0 Monroe. And one other score to keep an eye on if you're a Snider fan, Westfield's up 17-0 over McCutcheon. So kind of scores that we're watching. We don't have a report on Homestead and Warsaw, but those are the scores we're watching tonight.
Here it's 28-16 in favor of the Snider Panthers. We'll take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with the second half. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket. Back with Joe Walburn, we get ready for the kickoff. Goshen won the toss. Deferred. They'll get the ball to start the second half. Panthers have been winning this year, Joe, by an average of over 30 points a ball game. That's 17th best among all Indiana high school football teams. Last week they limited Concord to 1 for 13 on third downs. And Jeff Stoll might be a big factor in the second half. He had some success running the ball early in the first quarter, not so much in the second quarter. Snider really adjusted on him.
Yeah, that defensive line really took those run lanes away and made Goshen one-dimensional in the second quarter, and Goshen really tried to attack that secondary. So we'll see. We'll see how effective that defensive line for Snider is getting to the quarterback. I will say this, Will Johnson put a monster hit on Detweiler right before the half, and I thought it was going to be an issue in the second half. Then Snider had the interception, and Detweiler came out and threw a nice ball, but I think that might be an issue late in the game. I think these hits on Detweiler are going to slow him down, Joe.
So the Panthers will kick it off right to left as we look at it. Boozman tees it up. He's been kicking short. Ramil Johnson back deep along with Taylor Glasgow. For Goshen, 28-16, Panthers kicking away. And they do kick it away. Inside, it'll be taken by Glasgow inside the 5. Works middle of the field, 10, 15, 20. Some running room, cuts to his left, and wrapped up, and he steps out of a tackle, is out to the 30-yard line. As Snider got Tristan Wells to finally haul him down. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Redhawks, moving it from left to right.
Now let's see what Snider does. These receivers for Goshen, they were advertised as being excellent. They're better than even what they're advertised. Devin Love, Ramel Johnson, and Brandon Holly. Holly, I think he's listed at 6'3", Joe. He looks about 6'5" out there.
He
does. He looks huge. Let's see what Snider does, because I think Goshen now, being behind two, they're going to have to put the ball in the air. See if Snider plays a little man-to-man coverage now.
Redhawks will have 3 wide to the right side, the wide side of the field. Detweiler out of the shotgun, screens the ball near side's got a drop ball right through the hands of Taylor Glasgow, who had 3 catches for 29 yards last week.
And that's a break for Snider, because if Glasgow catches that football, those receivers are on their blocks. That could have been a big play for Goshen, Joe.
2nd down and 10.
Important that the Snider secondary tightens up with these receivers and not gives too much. That's a very big cushion down here.
Same formation, 3 wide to the right for Detweiler out of the shotgun. Looks near side, throws the ball, and not much there. That time the Panthers came up and pressed coverage and closed on Devin Love in a hurry. A short gain of only a couple of yards brings up still 3rd down and still about 7.
That's the nice thing about these backers, Hogue, France, and Ridley. They all can run. So those short passes, your backers have the ability to chase from sideline to sideline and make those plays.
Slaughter came up. Now they play a big cushion. They drop back in coverage on 3rd down and long. Detweiler looks near side. He's got the ball that's dropped again. That's 2 drops in the first series. They'll have to punt the ball away. Or really, with Charlie Collins, you never really know.
Yeah, you never really know. That was a big series, because Goshen in that series, they were flat. And they had the opportunity to get the 1st down. Now if you're Snider, now's the opportunity to really sink your teeth into Goshen.
Collins is back there. You think he's going to punt. He's waiting at his 26, but fairly close to the line of scrimmage. Still 15 on the play clock. And will he run a play? You never know. High snap and a quick kick. Got it away. High short kick. That one will be fielded. And Hippenhammer fakes left, goes right, crossed the 40, and got to about the 41-yard line. And little extracurriculars out there, but no harm, no foul. And Snider offense now forces the Redhawks to go 3 and out, and the Panther offense will come onto the field.
It'll be interesting to see how Michael Hoppert is on this drive, because we haven't seen him since the interception now, because obviously Hippenhammer had the run back. Let's see how sharp Hoppert is and see if he can shake that interception off. That was a pretty bad interception. I could relate to him, because what happened was he didn't see the linebacker. And everybody says after the game, why'd you throw it to that guy? I didn't see him, and that's the thing. Because, see, Hoppert's not very tall, so it's a struggle sometimes in the pocket.
You act like you've had to offer that excuse.
I've explained many times.
In empty backfield, now motion right to left behind the line of scrimmage. Low snap. Hoppert has to keep it himself. Angles to the right. He's up the midfield and out of bounds on the Snider side, somewhere around the 45-yard line. That looked like a tough play to begin with on a low snap, but then Halpert just made the most of it and runs for a first down.
Yeah, you're right. He made the most of it. It's a bust because he was going to hand the ball to Hippenhammer on the jet sweep, but Halpert's able to get the football, keep his presence of mind, and get a nice first down for Snider.
Garrett Carroll in there at right tackle, 6'5", junior, 245. Now they look to hand the ball off, and there's Money Woods into the second level, and still on his feet inside the 30-yard line, backpedaling down to about the 25.
Nice run, and I think as Money Woods gets older, Joe, now it's his senior year, I think that his discipline, he's able to run between those tackles so much better. I think he's so much more patient, Joe, than as a runner than what he was a couple years ago.
And they had a hard time bringing him down. I think they finally just blew the play down. He was really not down.
Yeah, he's stronger this year. He's put the work in the weight room.
1st and 10, Hippenhammer in motion. They'll give the ball to him on a sweep to the right. Cuts inside the 25 to the 20. Down the right sidelines, looking for the pylon. Did he score? Touchdown! Mac Hippenhammer, 26 yards on a sweep to the right side on the handoff and the inside handoff to the house, and Snider, after the 3-and-out stop, they are on the board again to lead at 34-16.
It was a fantastic block out there by Colton Hitton to turn his man in and make that play. So, wow, what a drive, Joe. You know, and you know what it is? It's Panther football. It's Money Woods running hard between the tackles and then coming back and gashing you in the outside with Hippenhammer. What a drive coming out of halftime.
And Hippenhammer now has scored the last 14 points, 12 points of the ball game in his own right. Boozman comes on to try to add the extra point. Right-footed kick is deep enough, on the way, and good. That'll make it a 35-16 lead. 10-18 remains in the quarter. IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 12:50 the ticket. Joe Auburn with us here tonight. And Joe, you know, we've seen so many games, and I think we become accustomed to a certain level of speed factor that we see by these high school players. Mac Hippenhammer, he just continues to amaze. I didn't think he had a prayer on that sweep initially, and then he just sped past everyone.
It's a great point because Goshen had the angle, and you're right. Hippenhammer beats him to the end zone, and you got to think, Joe, I mean, he's a Penn State recruit. I mean, we're watching some kids out here that you're going to be watching on Saturday afternoon.
Short approach by Boozman, but he bangs it down inside the 5. Johnson returns across the 15, 20, still on his feet, up the middle to the 25, maybe the 26. And that is where Goshen tries again on offense, but now it's Snider with their biggest lead of the night, 19 here on the road, 35-16 over Goshen.
And this is where it becomes difficult for Goshen because now you're down 35-16. Now you're one-dimensional. You have to throw the football. Now you have to deal with that defensive line that's going to sell out. They're not going to worry about the run. They're going to pinch their defensive ends and put their ears back, and they're going to come screaming off the end. So for Detweiler now, it becomes difficult because you have to get rid of the football faster. And now, look now, Joe, Snider's going to play a little bit of press coverage.
At least on the near side they do, against the big fellow Brandon Holly. But they will run stall, and boy, they're pinching in, and they've got him trapped. Very little gain that time, trying to run to his left. Not much there. That Snider defense pinched in a hurry.
Yeah, they slanted to the right that time, and you know, nobody else has been able to do it. Goshen cannot block Will Johnson tonight. Nobody else has this year either, but it just makes it difficult. And it's interesting because Snider has taken Stahl away now, Joe. So they've made Goshen one-dimensional. Let's see what happens now.
They call it a pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8. Detweiler out of the gun, looks near side, pump fake, throws the fade. Looking downfield, there's a ball in and out of the hands. Near side, they were going once again. Not surprising to Brandon Holly, the 6'3 junior. Incomplete, though, brings up 3rd down and long.
And that's pretty good coverage by Taj Starks. It was a pump and go, and Starks didn't bite. And I liked how Starks opened up his hips, Joe, and was able to get back to make that play. Holly goes 6'3" in the program. He's really about 6'4". That's a tough matchup for Starks, but I thought Starks had a heck of a play there.
Redhawks trying to get out just across their own 36 on this snap now. 3rd down and long. Detweiler rolls to his left. Pump fake again, throws. He's got a catch for a first down. Crossed the 41 to the 42. Went back to Devin Love.
That's a heck of a throw by Detweiler. Detweiler rolls to the opposite side, his left, away from his throwing shoulder, Joe, and you see the pump fake, and he got absolutely hammered on that, and he sticks that ball in there to Love. I'm telling you, Detweiler is taking an awful lot of hits tonight.
So has Stoll, and Liam Morales now, a 5'6" junior, checks into the backfield. 1st and 10, though, the Redhawks improving field position at their own 43. Stroud coming on a blitz, and here's the throw. That one is up for grabs and knocked away again from Holly as Taj Starks went up and timed it to bat that ball away.
Attaboy, Taj Starks. Detweiler wants to throw that ball deep to Holly, and Holly may be taller, but Starks is right with them step by step.
And I tell you what, we mentioned Stroud was coming in there, bearing down on Detweiler and lowered the boom.
Every single play, Detweiler is a really tough kid, Joe, because to stand in that pocket, every single play, you're getting hit.
3 wide to the right side now, 2nd down and 10. Long count from the line of scrimmage. They'll screen the ball near sideline. There's a catch. It'll run across the 47 by Glasgow and got up to about the 49-yard line, so that will bring up 3rd down now. 3rd and let's call it 5.
Again, I like what I see from Taj Starks. He beats the block and turns the play in so France can chase downhill and make the tackle. That's the way you play defense. Snider's extremely well coached on the defensive side.
Slaughter and Starks, the deepest. There's actually 3 back deep for Snider right now, expecting pass. 3rd down and a long 4. They'll screen the ball left side, and they'll run for a first down. That's Glasgow again. Angles out of bounds inside the Snider 40. Got a good block right around the 47 of the Panthers.
And it's a good play call, because if you get a good block at the point of attack, what is it, Joe? It's a pass where the ball comes out quickly. It takes away Snider's strength, their defensive line. So you want to get rid of that ball quick, and also it saves the hits on your quarterback.
Now they've got it at the Panther 39, 1st and 10. Detweiler again with 3 wide to his right. They'll run the ball. Morales quick steps his way down and got to about the 37. They'll give him maybe another yard to the 36 before he's pushed back.
And I know it's only the 3rd quarter, but if I'm Goshen, I get up to the line of scrimmage and I move a little bit faster here because you have a lot of ground to make up, and that's a potent Snider offense.
Very tough. They're down basically virtually 3 scores. 2nd down and 7. They'll mark it at the left side hash mark for C.J. Detweiler. Looks near side, throws the slant, and got a drop ball. That was behind, a little bit too far behind Brandon Holly. Tried to reach out and was going to be nailed anyway, so did not catch the ball. And 3rd down with them trying to reach the Snider 29.
And Holly's got to catch that. I know it's not the best ball, but Detweiler is throwing through giants in the pocket. And my rule was, if you can get your hands on the ball, you can catch it.
Morales flanked to Detweiler's right out of the shotgun formation. They'll give the ball to him, curls up the middle, got a yard to about the 29. So it's going to be 4th down and 4, maybe 4th and 5. And then you wonder, will they bring on either Collins or Short to attempt a field goal? That would give them only 19 points. But it looks like they've got to go for it. It'll be 4th and 5.
Yeah. You got to get touchdowns.
Trailing 35-16.
Yeah, you got to get touchdowns. That last play, Joe, that was Zach McDowell that collapsed the line on that play. The 6'2", 275-pound junior made the play.
Redhawks trying to reach the Panther 29 this snap. 4th down coming up. Roll to the right side. Quick slant is caught, and that's wrapped up. They got a first down, though. Holly carries tacklers down to the 25.
And that's a great play call by Goshen. I hate the cushion that Taj Starks gives Holly, but I also understand it's 35-16 on the scoreboard. You don't want to get one over your head, but recognition by Goshen to get that first down.
Yeah, Taj a little upset. I don't know with himself, or maybe he was expecting a little bit more help out there from Tristan Wells, but it'll be 1st and 10 And the Red Hawk drive remains alive. They'll screen the ball left side down. Oh, big Glasgow nailed. Just mentioned Tristan Wills. Guess that was him.
And Glasgow asked to come out of the game. And that's one of those where you go to the sideline and you check all the straps on your pads and you feel your ribs and you tell yourself the whole way, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. That was a big-time hit by Tristan Wells, and that's good because they come back and run those plays. The next guy that gets the ball on that, he's going to be looking.
Second down, a loss of 2, 2nd and 12. And a quick slant. They've got a big play in the middle of the field inside the 15 to the 10. And it'll be Holly still on his feet. Griffin, no, it's Ramel Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson's a ball player. That's to the short side. They like that man-to-man matchup. It's a dangerous pass because Detweiler, Joe, has to be very precise because you have linebackers in the really crowded area, but Goshen does a nice job executing that play and a chance to get some points here.
They'll have the ball 1st and goal at about the 8-yard line. Working from the left side hash mark, and here's a quick slant to the right side. A low ball hit the turf, no good. Trying to hit Joshua Sanchez. Quick hitting play, and let's see, do we have a penalty flag on the field? Apparently we do, and it was offside again, encroachment against Snider. So they had a free play to work with, and that will make it 1st and goal, half the distance, inside the 5.
Something I did notice when we broke the game down, Snider has 200 more penalty yards than their opponents this year. So you go through the stats, and everything's A+ for Snider, but that's a little something that stuck out that could be an issue as this playoff run goes possibly deeper.
Bontrager comes in tight to the left side. They'll throw the ball quickly, and that one is knocked away. Stroud had it in his hands. That might have been pick 6 the other way.
Yeah, the big boy had his hands on it, and I tell you, he's a fullback on the other side. He would have rumbled down the field. And defensively now, Snider, Joe, they need to tighten up. Don't give a big cushion to these receivers at the goal line because what they're going to throw at the goal line is they're either going to throw an out or a slant.
But everything quick.
Everything's got to be quick, so tighten up.
Inside of 6 minutes, time remaining here in the third quarter, 35-16. 2nd and goal from the 4. Here's the screen coming near side. Ramel Johnson's got it, but he's going to be bottled up outside the 5. And he had a lot of help, Tosh Starks did that time, to make sure Johnson going nowhere.
Excellent job by Starks to come up and make the open field tackle. And this is where the reputation of your defensive line helps you because your D-line's so good that everybody decides they're going to throw the ball to the outside. That time it's a big loss for Goshen, and really you have to go. It's got to be 4-down territory for Goshen too, don't you think, Joe?
No question. Holly in, split wide to the short side to the right. It's 3rd down and goal. The loss is back outside the 7. Roll to the left side, and here is a throw over the middle. Tip ball, that is intercepted. And it'll be a return by the Panthers across the 10. Down the right side, they've got it out of bounds across their 20-yard line.
Heck of a play. Looked like maybe France tipped it. Was it France that tipped it? Or
trying to catch the number on the interception, but the Panthers deny the score by Goshen, and they'll have the ball back with 5:10 remaining, 1st and 10, preserving that 35-16 Panther lead.
Looked like maybe France tipped it and Slaughter got it, but you know, that's where having that defensive line, you force teams down the goal line to throw the football, you roll your coverage up, and you get a huge stop with your defense. Now you have a chance now to eat some clock, pound away, and run your 2 backs.
Panthers had 4 turnovers in the first half, but survived the lead at halftime, and now they have their first interception. Here's a big hole up the middle for Covington. Cuts to the 30, 35. He's behind the defense at midfield. With foot raced inside the 30, and finally caught up to and dropped around the 20-yard line. A big run again by Covington, who ran 48 yards for a touchdown in the first half.
Yeah, heck of a run. Covington is so patient between the tackles, and the ability to run down the field and have a big play on that run. And I tell you, he delivered quite a blow at the end. I think it was maybe Sanchez.
It was Sanchez, saved the touchdown.
He saved the touchdown, but did he pay a price? But I'm telling you, you know, with the compliment to Woods of Covington, Snider's tough.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. Here's a quarterback keeper called a hopper. Off tackle left to the 15, spins down to the 10-yard line.
Nice read, because what happens is after 23 torches the defense, everybody says, hey, what was that number? They're ready the next play, and Hopper just pulls that ball out of the belly. I tell you, if Hopper, can just clean up a mistake here and there, he is a really good high school quarterback, Joe, and this isn't a very effective offense.
Simon Dellinger in tight to the right side now. They stay with Covington as the running back. They'll hand the ball to him, and he looks for running room, and he's going to go into the end zone. Christian Covington from 12 yards out, and they barely laid a glove on him at the 4:20 mark.
Just the run game. That's Panther football. That's been Panther football 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It's Panther football to run downhill. Snider flexes their muscle. Goshen's a good football team, but Snider takes control, Joe. And how physical has Snider been coming out of the locker room after halftime?
Christian Covington for the second time tonight with a rushing touchdown. And Boozman now. And it's almost hard to believe, Joe, we're looking at the potential of Snider with 42 points on the board after, there was a lot of mix-up there on the line just before the snap of the ball.
And I like this Goshen team, Joe. I mean, the way they have a good quarterback, the way they could throw the football, this is one of the better teams we've seen this year.
Once again, it's procedure against Snider. That'll make the extra point kick a little bit longer, becomes a 25-yard extra point kick by Boozman, who's been perfect tonight.
You know what else is impressive of Snider, Joe? They never seem to really panic or they never seem to really get tight in a game.
Boozman now with a right-footed kick. He's got that long leg going, and it's good again on the conversion. 42-16. 4:20 remains in the quarter. We'll be back to Goshen. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
Turned into the press box was a light blue Green Country jacket. If it's yours, come get it. It's chilly.
I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna get a part-time thing. I'm gonna get a full-time. Hey, I'm running the whole school. I'm the president. That's what we're gonna do.
Panthers now have scored the game's last 21 points. They extend out to a 26-point advantage now, and they'll kick it away right to left.
Yeah, and scores in the third quarter still. Concordia 18, Bishop Lure 7. Whoever wins that game is going to get West Lafayette. West Lafayette's rolling. So if Concordia does hang on, they would host West Lafayette next week. New Haven 21, Dwenger 9 in the third quarter. And also Northwood is rolling over East Noble. So whoever wins that game will get Northwood.
Boozman with a kick, far side. Johnson at the 5. Works to the 10, 15, middle of the field. Cuts up. No, that's Glasgow. Spins across the 25 and out to about the 27-yard line. Taylor Glasgow will give Goshen 1st and 10 now. Just 4:11 remains in this fast-moving third quarter. It's been a good game, fast-moving game. But once again, the Redhawks with the inability really to sustain runs, Joe, and just almost now trailing it by 26 and almost forced to throw almost every down.
Yeah, and they seemed flat coming out of the locker room at halftime. And that first drive, Joe, when it was a 28-16 game, that was an extremely important drive in this game, and Goshen was flat. And that really gave Snider the momentum now to put 14 points on them in the second half.
We do not see Jeff Stoll in there. It's going to be Liam Morales, the junior running back, but here's a pass near side. Big hit right away after the catch was made. That was Slaughter that came up and had initial contact. And everything, I tell you, is a challenge right now for Goshen. That'll be not much of any gain to bring up second down. Let's call it just a little bit more than 10.
And what's happening is the physicality of the hitting with Snider is really starting to bother Goshen.
That was Love on the catch, but paid a price immediately. Still 3 wide to the right side. Deadweiler, he's taken a pounding tonight also out, and they'll run the ball with Morales and looking for running room, and he does bring it out across the 35 up to about the 38, his best run of the night.
Boy, he looked elusive on that one, didn't he? I like the way he picked him up and put him down and made the cut, Joe.
Well, it goes about 5'6", so again, one of those little guys that, you know, they're quick and elusive. They scooch down there, you can't find them.
Yeah.
So they'll move the chains with 3:50 remaining. Now the clock moving. And this time they'll spread the field 2 wide either side. Deadweiler's operated out of the shotgun all night. Looks on the quick slant. That one's going to be picked off by Taj Starks. Returns to the 35-30. He's got a convoy inside the 20, inside the 10, and to the house. Taj Starks with a pick 6.
That a boy, I tell you, he jumped the route that time. Joe, they picked on him all night long, and Taj jumps the route that time. Heck of a play, 5'8", 155. Really one of the captains of the team, Joe. That's a heck of a play to jump that route and that recognition. That's what happens when you get behind. Detweiler has to press and throw that football, and heck of a read by Taj Starks.
Yeah, he was staring down the receiver as well, and Taj Starks read the eyes, jumped in front. So Snider had a couple of pick 6 returns last week against Concord, gets one here. Now the officials conferring. They do show still 42-16 unsportsmanlike conduct against Goshen.
I think what happened was I think Starks, got in the end zone, and he was pretty excited. And Starks has kind of been jawing out there with the receivers for Goshen. And I think somebody put their pads on Starks late, but it didn't bother Taj. Taj was so excited to get that touchdown. But, he's underrated. I tell you, these corners, Joe, with that state championship game last year, they took a lot of abuse with that game. All of the points back and forth. So they've had a lot of pride this year to play better. And Starks has had a heck of a matchup tonight with Holly, and he's done a really good job, Joe.
Well, they won it last year in the championship game, 64-61 over New Pal. And, Coach Kevin Downley told me a long time ago, I don't care if I win by 55 or 1. Just win. Here's Boozman on to add the extra point, right-footed kick, long enough. And good again. Boozman's been tough tonight. 49-16, Panthers on top. 3:31 on the clock here in the third quarter. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket. 28 unanswered points by Snider as they balloon now out to a 33-point lead, 49-16.
And impressive. This is a good football team. There was a long bus ride up here, and Snider was a little bit flat coming out, but you talk about getting down to business and really just being physical. Now with the penalty, they get to kick the ball off. It's probably going to be a touchback here.
Yeah, they'll tee it up from the Goshen 45-yard line. Still 3:31 remaining in this third quarter.
And for the Snider fans, last report at halftime, Joe, it was Mishawaka 8, Michigan City 7, and then a score to watch for, because this is probably going to be the hurdle that Snider will have to get over. Westfield 31, McCutcheon 0. So Snider and Westfield, the two teams that most, should I say pundits? I'm so tired of hearing that word this time of year with our election coming up, but those are two teams that everybody thinks will probably match up in the semi-state.
Reminder, there's still no comparison. Verizon Wireless inside the Glenbrook Mall is still number one when it comes to pricing and service. Stop in at Verizon Wireless inside the Glenbrook Mall and discover the new plans and promos such as carryover data and no overages. There's only one Verizon Wireless to shop with. That's Verizon Wireless inside the Glenbrook Mall, because better matters. Pass incomplete on the near side is 1st and 10 for the Red Hawks at their own 20. Now becomes 2nd down and 10.
I want to say a special hello. I was talking to Coach Bush before the game, longtime coach for Snider, and his mother, 86 years old. I'm going to call you Mama Bush, is home listening back in Fort Wayne. She's proud of Coach Bush, and she loves her Panthers, and I want to say a special hello to Mama Bush.
Detweiler hands it off. A little second effort. I believe Stoll's back in there now at running back and nudges out close to the 25-yard line. Well, while you're saying hello, there's someone else you're forgetting. How about your grandfather?
Yeah, I tell you what, I had Chinese with him last night. My grandfather loves pork chop suey, and boy, can he put it away. But special hello to him. 94 years old, the 1940 Allen County Basketball Player of the Year. I love my grandfather.
Gaylord Conrad listening hopefully tonight. Again, they'll run the ball, and Stoll rolls across the 25, got another yard to the 26. But you're a little surprised, two very conservative calls by the Redhawks now.
You got to throw the ball, but I'm telling you, I just sense that Detweiler has taken quite a beating, Joe, and I think they want to throw it, but I think Detweiler took a couple big hits from Will Johnson, and all of a sudden the game just got away from Goshen.
It is 4th and 3. Charlie Collins is in there, and play clock still at 16. And he leaves you kind of guessing, will he kick or will he throw the ball? He will kick the ball away. High spiral, Hippenhammer rotating backs, got it at his 40. Gives ground, they're closing in on him, turns the corner. He's at the 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, near sidelines, lowers the shoulder, lowers the boom inside the 30, got down to about the 28-yard line, and Mac Hippenhammer, again, an electric play. And with that potential, every time he touches the ball, Joey can go to the house.
Yeah, and the hit at the end was Charlie Collins, and that was a semi hitting a Mack truck at the end of that run. I mean, Hippenhammer was full speed, and Collins made the tackle, but he got the worst of that. But you know what was most impressive about that with Hippenhammer? And this is why he's going to go play his ball at Penn State. He catches the ball over his shoulders in a punt return like that. That is so difficult because that ball is swirling and turning, but heck of a play. And really, Hippenhammer's been the player tonight, Joe, for Snider. He's made the plays.
We are at 2:10 remaining in this third quarter. Snider on top, 49-16, and the punt return has got him in business, 1st and 10 at the Goshen 28-yard line. Too wide to the right, the wide side of the field. Low snap, but here's Hoppert. Throws in the flats, got to catch. Hippenhammer works his way down to the 20 and knocked out of bounds on the Snider sidelines around the 19.
And I love it when Hoppert throws the ball on time and throws it early. That time that ball comes out so fast to Hippenhammer, and when you do that, when you have Covington, Woods, Hippenhammer, you've got your two big tight ends. That's all you have to do as the quarterback.
It's a gain of 9, 2nd and 1. Woods back in there as the running back. Low snap again. Woods off tackle the left side. Cuts back to the right. Steps out of a tackle. Still on his feet. Fights his way inside the 10-yard line. But what fancy footwork that time by Money Woods dodging tacklers.
Oh, man. And I always laugh because, I talk about the story. I played with his daddy. He was my favorite receiver, Mike Woods. When Mike got excited in games and won the ball, he referred to himself in third person as Money Woods. I'm Money. I'm Money. I'm Money Woods, and it always makes me laugh when I come out here and see his boy, Money Woods, run all over.
1st and goal at the 8 from the right side hash mark. Will they go to Woods again and looking for running room, a little delayed reaction up the middle, and he'll score. Well, they had a couple of shots at him, but they couldn't bring down the little guy. Money Woods to the house, 8 yards at the 117 mark.
That's the prettiest 8-yard touchdown run you'll see. I think he broke about 4 or 5 tackles, and wow. Now you're seeing Snider operate. Oh, man, everything's firing for Snider right now. And Goshen is a good football team, but right now, I think the Bears would struggle with the Panthers right now, man.
Joe, if you had told me around 7:30, 7:45, we'd be looking at 55-plus points on the board, and still in the third quarter for Snider, I would have thought you're out of your mind.
Boy, when they play together and they execute their game plan, they are so difficult to deal with.
Boozman, again, been a busy guy with extra point attempts and on the way. Well, there's some extracurriculars going on, some short fuses, especially by the guys in red. That kick is good, 56-16. Panthers on the road. We'll be back. IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 12:50 the ticket. Now it's 35 unanswered points by the Panthers. They led at halftime 28-16. They're up at 56-16.
And something else that's really impressive too, Joe. This is going to be Coach Tittman's 8th season, his 8th sectional title. I mean, every single season he's won the sectional championship. And also what's impressive is the way they transition from Coach Isaacs to Coach Tittman and how smooth that's been for the program.
Here's a ball right through the outstretched hands of Devin Love back into the end zone. That's ruled a touchback. It will come out to the 20-yard line. That's one of the few times they've had a chance really to maybe with a different kick returner back out there. The first time we've seen Devin Love back there, but it'll be 1st and 10 for C.J. Detweiler with 1:14 on the clock here late in this third quarter.
Yeah, nice performance with Snider. And, you know, Goshen had success throwing the ball early on, and Stahl was running the ball pretty good, Joe, but boy, did Snider tighten down, and it seemed like they kind of slanted that defensive line, took Stahl away, and then slowly tightened up with their pass defense.
And you look at the 3 touchdowns here in the third quarter, an interception by Snider, set up eventually a 12-yard touchdown run by Christian Covington, then a pick 6 to the house by Ty Starks, and now Money Woods from 8 yards out. Here's a strong throw, and that was a dangerous throw. Ethan Hoover was the only one in vicinity. They're trying to go to Love once again down the middle.
Yeah, trying to throw that skinny post, and Snider does a nice job. Snider's kind of backing off and playing some zone now, but they did a nice job of closing down on that play.
Second down in 10, still 1:09 remaining in the quarter. Big crowd has come in from Fort Wayne tonight to back the Panthers on the road. They're seated across the way.
Yeah, we talk about what a great program is, but how about, you know, the parents that travel, all the fans that travel? It all means so much to the program for Snider.
Here they're going to try to run the ball off tackle to the right side of Guino, a couple of yards out to about the 22. Jeff Stoll back in there. And that'll bring up third down, third, and still make it about 7.
I imagine they'll probably get the ball to Ramel Johnson here. And, you know, there are only 2 losses this year, Joe. We're obviously to Northwood. Northwood's beating everybody.
And Warsaw.
Yep, and Warsaw. So, big program in Warsaw.
3rd and 7. Here's Detweiler. Rolls to his left side. Pressure. Spun around. Steps out of it. Looking. Is going to run out of bounds. Step out of bounds. That'll bring up 4th down and long. Just that time, good coverage downfield by the Panthers. No options for Detweiler to throw the ball.
Yeah, you had no options. And when I played, I hated that play, and I would bark at the coordinator on the sideline because, you know what, you roll me all the way out to the left. I have to throw it back across my body, and you give me one option, and the option's covered. What am I supposed to do now? And I could see that in Detweiler's body language when he came off the field.
4th down and 7. Collins back in there, checks the near sideline, and wants to see, do we have a chance to run a play with 27 seconds remaining, or will I kick it? We will find out momentarily. Does have a protector in to his left. High snap. Looks, and that one, how did he get that one off? It was nearly blocked. Takes a Goshen bounce inside the Snider 45 and will be touched and blown dead at the 41-yard line. That's the 3rd time tonight that Collins has been living charmed. Lawrence Johnson had a piece of one early in the ball game. He kicked under a Snider defender. Another kick, and that one, I thought they were right there perfectly positioned to block it.
Yeah, Coach Park has a good team up here, but in the offseason, I might rethink that. I might switch up my punt protection on that. How about Snider, though, Joe? I mean, there was moments where they had some turnovers, but wow, you're talking about dropping the clutch and taking off. I mean,
they just seem to have that philosophy. Hang in there till we get it right.
Yeah, and you're right. I think the big point you made is we didn't think it'd be like this, an hour and a half ago.
Jonathan Young checks in, and they've got some new numbers in there. Running Brandon Young now in there at quarterback. This should be the final play of this third quarter. They're going to lose yardage back to about the 37. So get out the rosters, Joe. We're going to go to work here.
Yeah, that was Lockett that time running the football, and that was kind of a slow developing play.
And that will be the end of the third quarter. All Snider here in the second half. 56-16. The lead is 40 as we head to the fourth quarter. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket. Well, a bad snap is Brandon Young, the sophomore quarterback. It was wide of him trying to move to his right. It was covered up by the Panthers. They've got it back of their 31, but it'll be third down and longer.
Quickly, some scores, Joe. Fourth quarter, New Haven 21, Dwenger 16. So good game there. Also in the fourth quarter, Concordia 24, Bishop Lures 14.
They'll run the ball again, off tackle run to the left side. That's a gain across the 30 to about the 31-yard line.
And West Lafayette won big, so the winner of Concordia and Lures will get West Lafayette. Northwood's beaten East Noble 38-16, so whoever wins the Dwenger New Haven game will get Northwood. For the Snider fans, Westfield 31, McCutcheon nothing. As far as the regional matchup, it's still in the third quarter. Mishawaka 8, Michigan City 7. A couple other scores, Jimtown 19, Garrett 14, and Monroe Central 12, Adams Central 7. Both those games early fourth quarter.
A rare punt coming up tonight by Snider. Back at the 15, that's Boozman. Got a big leg into it. Takes a bounce. They'll back away from it. Rolls down to about the 22-yard line. So that's where Goshen goes to work back on offense. Now with 10:32 remaining in their season, they're on a very short end of a 56-16 score.
And it's disappointing for them because they felt like, last year was 42-10. They felt like they could be much more competitive this year and have more of a chance getting Snider at home, maybe the opportunity to pick them off. But boy, Snider went in a big run.
We are still going to see C.J. Detweiler out there. Remember, he's a senior quarterback. Has he committed to anyone, Joe? Have you heard?
Not that I heard, and I know he's got a lot of teams looking at him. A lot of interest from a lot of smaller schools, but I watched him warm up before the game, and he's a good quarterback, Joe.
Shotgun formation once again. Looks to hand the ball off. That's Liam Morales back in there, the 5'6 junior running back. Only 145 pounds. He'll bring it out to about the 25, though. A pickup of about 5. And now what do we have? A player down for the Panthers, so we have an injury timeout. Stoppage down on the carpet. This injury timeout brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine, a winning combination with the IHSAA. And we'll be back. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Stroud, yeah. Fumble.
DeAndrew Stroud was the injured Snider player, but running off the field, walking basically under his own power, looked like he may have bummed up a little bit of a ankle problem. That was a give to Morales, who fumbled away, but the Redhawks jump on it back inside their 25 at around the 23-yard line. So third down and 8. Moving this time right to left as we look at it. Detweiler with 2 wide to the right side. Takes the snap, wants to throw the ball on the quick screens. Got a catch and a run after the catch only across the 25 and gain only to about the 26, 27. That'll bring up fourth down and still about 5.
Yeah, good defense with Snider to close down that slant. Goshen's had some success tonight throwing that slant route, but a nice job that time to close down on that play. So Snider's got some other jerseys in now, but that was Ethan Hoover that made that play, Joe, and he's only a sophomore, Ethan Hoover, so pretty bright future.
Some of those other names and their numbers. Greg Craig has checked into the defensive line. Janelle Hogue, who had 3 tackles last week, is in there at one of the linebacker spots.
Good to see John Campbell in the game, too, the senior. So that was a personal foul, Joe. I think that was a late after the play. I didn't see it. I didn't know if somebody said something or what, but that was a late penalty.
So that'll take the ball out across the 40 to the 42-yard line for Detweiler and company. Still moving from right to left. And Detweiler looks near side, screens the ball. Ramel Johnson turned, pivot, couldn't hold on.
That's a tough play for Johnson because Detweiler is throwing that ball pretty hard out there, and Johnson has to turn around and make that play. And really, the body language of Holly, Johnson, and Detweiler hasn't been the best in the second half, and I think it's because of all the hits, Joe. This game has been extremely physical from that standpoint.
They do take a toll, no question about it. So now 2nd down and 10. Same formation, 2 wide to the left, 1 wide to the right. Detweiler will give the ball off, and nudging up to about the 45. The ball carrier, let's see if that's Stoll back in there or Morales. It's going to be Jeff Stoll. Remember, he's a 5'8 senior playing his last game. Had 15 carries last week in their victory over Northside for 44 yards.
It's a pretty good play by Devontae Morgan to make that tackle. So Morgan's in the game now. So we're starting to see some second stringers for Snider, but really, these are pretty good second stringers. A lot of these second stringers could be first stringers.
No question. 3rd down and 7. And here they'll run the ball straight ahead up to about midfield. And Stoll pushes the pile into Snider territory down about inside the 49. Not quite a first down, I don't think, or are they going to give it to him? They will move the chains.
Well, that was a generous spot.
Where are these guys from, Joe?
Goshen.
Okay, I just wanted to check on that.
I think they're all cousins with Rick Meyer, you know. I hadn't heard, that was my favorite Notre Dame quarterback, you remember? Finished up in 92, then was drafted in the 93 by the Seattle Seahawks.
8:20 remaining in the ball game. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 48 of the Panthers. And they'll run the ball once again and straight ahead carry. This time Morales gets down low at 5'6". Boy, I tell you, you talk about a low center of gravity. You can't find him. He's down there inside the 45, down to about the 44.
Those are the toughest guys to tackle, those guys about 5'8", 5'9". I mean, Barry Sanders,
they got no ankles.
No ankles. You would still love to watch the guys chase and try to tackle Barry Sanders.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. Time beginning to run out on the Red Hawks here. Their great season. They came in with a record of 8-2, ranked in both polls. They'll run again. Morales finds running room off to the right, 40-35. Angles out of bounds or close to it on the Snider sidelines, down around the 34.
He's pretty good back. Not the biggest, but boy, when he sees that hole, he gets to it.
They've got another first down. Just over 7.5 minutes remaining with the ball at the Panther 34-yard line. Tavares Brown in near side at one of the cornerbacks. Back deep, DeAndre Shaw checks in. So it'll be 1st and 10 for C.J. Detweiler. Looks to Morales once again straight ahead and bumps into people at the 31-yard line. That's where they spot him down.
When you see some of these second stringers playing for Snider, it's such an advantage when you go deep into playoffs every year because all the freshmen and all the JV guys get that extra practice and you are so ready for the next season. That's so valuable.
Panthers dropping 5 back into coverage right now on 2nd down and 6, expecting a pass here, but they run Morales. Morales spun around and dropped, wrapped up that time by Janelle Hogue.
Boy, he's a load. He goes 5'9", 165, but he looks bigger than that. We got to talk to Snider about their program. Everybody's under-listed in weight. You go down the field before the game, these guys look bigger. I just want to get my program out. I'm like, he's not 165. He's not 220. He's not 250. Who's putting these numbers
Joe,
out?
that doesn't happen by accident. I learned that a long time ago. Now, here's a play-action fake. Detweiler rolls to his left, throws short. He's got a catch at the 20-yard line. And they'll be in business. Goshen in the red zone now, 1st and 10. Good delivery that time.
He throws a nice ball on the move, Detweiler. A lot of times you don't see that out of a lot of high school quarterbacks, Joe, because a lot of times guys don't have the ability to understand you got to chop your feet at the end and still have that throwing base. But Detweiler does a nice job with that concept.
That was Sanchez also with a catch and run after. They'll run the ball again. And there's a cut to the left side by Morales. Works his way down to the Panther 10-yard line. Clock inside of 6 minutes, time remaining.
And what stinks when you're on the losing end of these games in the playoffs is, you play. The game's over. You go back to the locker room, you have a nice talk, and all of a sudden they come around. They want your lock. They want your pads. They want to clean you out. The finality of the last game in high school football is really tough sometimes.
Devontae Morgan now checks in for Snider. And let's see, Devontae. No, they'll run the ball off tackle. There's Morales. He's met right at the 10. They may have get him another yard inside the 9, close to the 8-yard line. tackle made also with support. That was Greg Craig.
Yeah. He's a good player, too, and these second stringers for Snider are trying to keep Goshen off the board and preserve the second half shutout.
Third down and short, third and a long 2. Clock already down to 5 minutes. Morales stays in as the running back, flanked to the right of C.J. Detweiler. Looks, gives to Morales again. Banged at the 6. Driven back very close to the first down stick. No, they say he's short. It'll bring up fourth down and about a yard remaining.
Can I brag about Summit City for a second? How awesome is it? All the different sporting events that they constantly get to and are able to put up on their site like that.
Jeff Mahoney and his crew, they're everywhere.
Everywhere.
Tonight.
Every time you go to the site, there's a new event up. So that's awesome, man, because you're getting all the sports too, you know.
And not just football and basketball, Joe.
Yes,
you're right.
You're right. You're getting everything, and it's awesome for the kids, and hats off to them.
4th and 1. Here's Detweiler. Gives to Morales off tackle and looking for to get to the 5-yard line, and that should be enough to move the chains. So they'll be first and goal, I believe, for the. They're still waiting for that indication, but yeah, it'll be first and goal at the 5.
Did you miss me last week?
I did.
And contrary to popular opinion, I wasn't banished back at the studio with the Prince eating pizza. Good stuff.
You were with me in spirit. I hope you had a good time with your son.
Absolutely.
We have a timeout called. They're going to move that ball. No, they didn't make it, Joe.
They didn't make it. Snider got the stop. And
I thought for sure he got to the 5.
Yeah, that was a poor spot. And it was funny how fast Snider ran off the field because they were so pumped to get that stop. And that was a bad spot right there because I thought for sure he got that first down.
So Brandon Young will come back in to run the team. Looks to hand the ball off with an off-tackle run to the left side, up across the 10-yard line to the 11, getting a little more breathing room now for the young Panthers out there in the final 4 minutes of this ball game.
And, you know, looking ahead, late in the third quarter, it's still Mishawaka 8, Michigan City 7. And you correct me if I'm wrong, if Snider obviously is going to win this game, they host Mishawaka and they would travel to Michigan City. Is that correct?
Yeah, they would. They'll host Mishawaka or go. Yeah, let me check my numbers here while you get a second.
Yeah, I think that's right.
That's a gain of 4, second down and 6. Young looks to hand the ball out again. Run across the 12 to about the 13-yard line. Yeah, Snider would be home to Mishawaka or they would travel to Michigan City.
And actually, I would like to see Michigan City win that game because if Snider travels to Michigan City, chances are they'll probably get Westfield at home in the semi-state. And I think that could make a difference, Joe, because that's going to be the game in semi-state.
3rd down and 4 coming up for the Panthers now. Clock will run inside of 3 minutes before this snap. And Young ready to take that snap. Hands it off once again. A little cut back. Nicely across the 15 up to the 19-yard line.
And quick update, Joe. New Haven just got a huge touchdown in the fourth quarter. So New Haven 28, Dwenger 16 late in the fourth. And maybe a little bit of breathing room for New Haven.
Here we're down to 2:50 time remaining in this ball game. Joe Walburn getting ready to go down on the field. In our Walburn Financial Management postgame show coming up, he'll be visiting with Coach Tipman and also checking in with some of the players on the field. Penalty, though, will move the Panthers back. It'll be 3rd down and 8. And the ball back inside the 10 at about the 9-yard line. And they'll run the ball once again. And here's a gain only across the 10 to about the 13. They're going to get a spot of the ball up close to the 15-yard line. But it will bring up 4th down. And we will see Panthers punt the ball away. Bryson Haft coming out onto the field. And Boozman will punt the ball away. He'll stand back around the goal line to take this snap. And 3 of the big boys will check in there for protection up around the 5-yard line. Zenden Dillinger, one of them, at 3:05, and a senior at 6'7". Kick is away by Boozman, far side. Johnson has it bounce, gets through his outstretched legs. That's picked up by Snider. Was it touched by Goshen? Are they going to have the ball at the 31? They will. Well, let's say they're going to mark it down at the 32, but we'll wait and see who has possession of this ball with 1:39 remaining. May not have touched a Red Hawk, just downed at the 32 by Snider. Officials are conferring, though, to see if that ball did touch or graze one of the Goshen players. There is a penalty flag at midfield, unsportsmanlike conduct against Goshen.
Call indicates unsportsmanlike conduct on the Red Hawks.
So let's see what the outcome of this is going to be with 1:39 remaining in this ball game. But Snider is about to win yet another sectional championship and on to the regionals somewhere next week, depending on the outcome of that Michigan City-Mishawaka ball game. Now Kyle Park out to talk with Dave Spencer, our referee tonight, about that call. Right now the ball still situated at the 32-yard line, and it is Snider's football. So that will be marked as a fumble recovery at the Goshen 32. They have not walked off any more distance as far as a potential penalty at this point, with 1:39 remaining. All very academic, really, at this point. Still waiting for the SummitCitySports. That is, now they do walk off the penalty. Well, that took a little while to sort out. I believe it's Anise Lockett is checked in as the running back. We've got some discrepancies on our numbers on the roster right now. Until we stand corrected, let's go with Anise Lockett, who's checked in there as the running back. Jonathan Young is in wide to the right side. So Brandon Young looks to Lockett, off tackle run, straight arms one, works his way down to the 15-yard line. He'll pick up a couple. And down to 90 seconds. Both teams with their full complement of 3 timeouts remaining. Don't expect anybody to use those, though. In the final 1:20 of this ball game, the clock is running. In fact, Young is just going to come with the kneel down here in the final minute of this ball game. It'll be 2nd down and 8 with the ball at the 15, but the Panthers not about to score more points. Just trying to run out the final 55 seconds. Young will take a knee, and we'll see when they reset the 40-second clock. We may have just one more kneel down, and that will be it. And with the win, Snider will go and stay undefeated at 11-0, waiting the outcome of the Michigan City-Mishawaka game winner. And the Red Hawks, their year, good year, but over now at 8-3. Down to 19 on the play clock, 26 on the game clock, so this final kneel down will do it. Young again, under center. Ready to take that final snap with 4 on the play clock, and that'll do it. We'll have the final 10 seconds. We'll run off here, and Snider will win this game here tonight, having to come from virtually behind, trailed a couple of times, early on 3-0, but they'll win it by a final score of 56-16. We will wait for the teams to meet at midfield with the handshakes. Sectional championship trophy will be awarded. And Joe Walburn is down on the field. He'll be looking for Kurt Tipman and others when we get a chance. We'll be going down. Let's check in with...
Wow, you said you wanted it cleaned up for the second half? Man, that was cleaned up in the second half.
Well, we ought not put ourselves in that situation. So, but it's credit to our guys. The defense shut them out in the second half and, made some big plays. And offensively, we were productive in each series.
Defensively, I thought your pass defense in the second half, that was a very good quarterback with very good receivers and a good football team. And it seemed like in the second half, you guys kind of tightened up and locked down that coverage, Coach.
Yeah, that's a credit to secondary coaches and Slaughter and Starks and Ridley and Hoover. Those guys all did a very good job. just kind of adjusting. The quarterback can spin it. He's a good player, and that's a big reason for their success. Only having 2 losses. The 2 losses they had were the quarterback didn't play in the game. So he's a great player, and our kids did a good job in the second half.
Lastly, obviously, expectations are always big every year for Snider, but this is your 8th year, and I got to brag you up a little bit. This is your 8th sectional championship, so, congratulations. Obviously, you're always looking ahead for bigger things, but you got to enjoy this tonight, and what an awesome record, and what a transition that, Coach Isaacs made to you, and you guys have done a wonderful job keeping this program going, and you know what, Coach? 8 years and 8 sectional championships. That's really impressive.
Well, it's a credit to our coaching staff. The thing that's been constant are guys like Lance Klein and Craig Fales and Ryan Moorman and all of our coaches. Guys have been there for a long time. Bob Bergeron, they've been with our program for a long time. So very little to do with me and a lot about the coaching staff.
Well, a lot to do with you too. But anyways, it's an awesome program. Congratulations, Coach, and good luck next week.
Joe Auburn down on the field with Coach Kurt Tippin celebrating a sectional championship. We'll go on to our Auburn Financial Management postgame show. Much more to follow here on Fox Sports. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Your attention on the 30-yard line at the east end of the football field. Goshen Principal Dr. Barry Youngton will now present the championship trophy to the Fort Wayne Snider.
Pat, I apologize, but I got to ask you how many we have left.
Congratulations to the Panthers. The Panthers will play the regional next Friday night.
Okay, 3-3, buddy. Play of the game?
Please visit IHSAA.org to find out the start time
Not a problem.
and location of the regional championship next Friday. Thanks to all of you for coming out and have a safe trip home. Lucas Kaufman, please report to the west end zone.
Okay, Pat, come back to me after this.
Okay, I got totals.
Joe, I'm down here with Matt Kippenhammer. What a game, man. They say big players make big plays in big game. How big was that kick return, man? Because, you seem like you picked the whole team up. I know Hopper was down with the interception. They convert. It's 21-16, and right before the half, you make the big kick return.
I think that was a big game changer, them kicking it deep like that, I had to make something happen with it and change the game, and I think that really picked our team up and we rallied around it.
Yeah, and in the second half, it seemed like you guys really came out and focused in after halftime. A little sloppy in the first half, but you guys played Panther football and were very dominant in the second half.
Oh, yeah. Coach Timmons just said we have to stick to what we know. Nothing magical, just execute. And, like I said, stick to what we know. And we came out and did it 10 times better than the first half. So.
Lastly, man, how fun is it to play in these big games? I mean, obviously last year the state championship. This year you guys are making the march. How awesome is it to play for Snider in all these big games?
It's fun. This is what we play for. This is what we work for all summer, all season, and it all comes down in the postseason. And it's really fun playing with these guys and just making a good run in the playoffs.
Well, congratulations, Joe Parson and I in Summit City Sports. We've really enjoyed watching you play. Congratulations. And, Joe, I had to get somebody from the defense. I mean, I brag about this defensive line all year long. I think it's the best defensive line that I've seen in this city in the last 10 or 15 years. And I got Will Johnson. And, Will, an awesome defensive line. You guys came in with 30 sacks in the season, and we were curious to see how Goshen was going to deal with you guys, and it just seemed like you guys wore them down. You were more physical to them, and you and Drew and the big boys in the middle got to the quarterback.
It was actually what we exactly expected, and I respect Goshen O-line because they didn't come like this is the best defense and just roll over. They played their hardest, and they played their football, and that's why we was lacking in the first half because we didn't come out playing our football. But we picked it up. We went in the halftime, picked it up. Our line coaches told us what we need to do and what we need to fix, and we came out and executed it.
How fun is it to have the big defensive tackles inside? It allows you and Drew at the defensive end positions really to pinch and chase the quarterback. I mean, coming in the game, you have 10 sacks, so it's got to be a lot of fun to come off the edge when you know they have to deal with the big boys in the middle.
Oh, it's the best thing because it takes pressure off the ends, and the best of all, that those guys in the middle have been my brother since I came to Snider. And number 90 is my brother. He's an actual brother in 77, just being there. It's like we bond outside of the program, which makes it so much better that they're there and that they clog up the middle.
How awesome is it to play for Snider, but to play with your brother, man? I mean, how cool is that?
Oh, it's the best thing I could ever imagine, especially since we're making a good run, and we're both pretty effective on the D-line, and it's just the best thing I could ever ask for.
Last question. Last year with New Pal, 64-61. You guys won the state championship. A win's a win. But defensively, you guys felt like this year, man, you kind of wanted to prove a little something and flex your muscles. What's been the difference this year?
Oh, it's just running to the ball, paying attention to practice more, because giving up 61 points is something you never want to do. That's a basketball score. But just focusing, having people show up, be ready, trusting the coaches is really what helps our defense out.
Well, congratulations, Joe Parson and I in Summit City Sports. You're one of our favorite players. We love watching you come off the edge, and good luck the rest of the season, Will. Take care. Good luck, brother.
Thank you.
Joe Walburn down on the field with Snider victorious players Mac Hippenhammer and Will Johnson as the Panthers come back and win this by a final score of 56-16 on the road here tonight at Goshen. We'll take our final 3-minute timeout, and we'll be back with more of our Walburn Financial Management postgame show. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
I hate it for our kids. I hate it for
I knew you were coming. My eyes weren't deceiving me. Good interview. Good. A little more tonight, so.
Final 3 minutes.
Okay, wrap her up.
But With Joe Auburn, our final look at tonight's Snider win, 56-16 here on the road, a 40-point win over Goshen. It's the Panthers had the fight from behind a couple of times. They trailed early on 3-0 on a 41-yard field goal by Charlie Collins. They trailed again 9-7 early in the second quarter on a Detweiler 1-yard touchdown run. But they would go to intermission on top 28-16, and then the second half and third quarter, really, because nobody scored in the fourth quarter, it would be just all Panthers. They 26-yard sweep to the right side by Hippenhammer made it 35-16. Then an interception gave them possession that would lead to a touchdown run of 12 yards by Christian Covington, his second touchdown run of the night. He ran earlier for a 48-yard dash to the house. Then a pick six by Todd Starks made it 49-16, and Money Woods would run into the end zone for the second time tonight on an 8-yard scamper with 1:17 remaining in the third quarter. 56 points for the Snider Panthers. It was 35 unanswered points, and a big win for the Panthers, undefeated now 11-0. Joe, Goshen, great team, but they bow out here tonight at 8-3.
Yeah, impressive win for Snider. That was a good Goshen team. They were well coached, and Goshen, had their moments early, but once Snider cleaned it up, they seemed to really come out after halftime and get after it. So, again, Goshen was a good team. Snider's just a cut above. And the last update we had, it was Mishawaka 15, Michigan City 7, late in the fourth. So it's going to be a good possibility that Snider would host Mishawaka next week. Some other scores. Concordia rolls over Lewis 38-14. That was close early on, but boy, Concordia is a special team, and they're going to get West Lafayette, and I believe they'll host West Lafayette. So West Lafayette wins that game. Northwood all over East Noble 52-24, and late in the game, last score we had, it was 28-23, New Haven over Dwenger, so that's a really tight game. So we'll see how that, Dwenger's been involved in so many close games at the end this year, so we'll see how that shakes out. Two good teams, but whoever wins that is going to get a heck of a test in the regional with Northwood. Northwood's undefeated, and Northwood has just rolled through everybody up here this year.
How about any update on Adams Central? They're in a battle with
Adams
Monroe Central.
Adams Central got a late touchdown at the end of the game to beat Monroe Central 15-12. So
how often do they do that?
Boy, they sneak one over at the end. And South Adams got a battle from Cherubusco. It was 29-21 late in the fourth. South Adams was hanging on. Some other scores of interest. Garrett was up late over Jimtown, 29-26. And for the Snider fans, again, Westfield 34, McCutcheon 7. So really a awesome night of high school football. The only score I never could get was the Homestead Warsaw score, so I apologize to people, listeners out there, but I tell you, heck of a night for high school football, my friend, and wow, did Snider flip the switch in the second half, Joe.
Big effort by the Panthers in the second half. They win in commanding style here on the road in Goshen tonight, 56-16. Special thanks to our studio producer. He's always been with us. His name, Patrick Plummer. For Joe Auburn, I'm Joe Parson. Until next Friday night somewhere, so long, everybody. Thanks so very much for listening.